There we go. Recording.
Now that started the recording.
Yep.
Problem is trying to see the live because we're looping really bad.
Yep. Which I'll check into that though, but let's get started, shall we? Well, I'll just upload this bitch later.
That's fine.
On it. No, when I couldn't sleep last night,
Yeah.
dude, I got fucking went down the rabbit hole with fucking uh the flat earth bullshit, right?
Yep.
Well, they was doing an experiment called the final experiment with fucking flat earth people and round earth people. Well, they took me to Antarctica to see if the sun would actually set or stayed up for 24 hours. And it actually stayed up for 24 hours. It was just like the lowest point
Hmm.
on it, which proved that the sun is nowhere on the globe. But some of the flat earth people still think that we have an ice shield all around the earth, right?
Right.
That's what Antarctica is. I'm like, you dumb motherfuckers, if we did, then how come we don't fucking, when we go fucking sail east or west, we don't run into ice? Period.
Right. That's what they claim that the like Antarctica's wrapped completely around. And that the point of yeah, like you said, the point of the sun is just melted what we travel, is what they try to claim. I've seen the picture of it. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, and I was like, I said, okay, then how come, where's the North Pole out in all this shit too? Because
Right.
we know we got North and South poles, all the shit. But they forget about what was that fucking map? We talked about this one time before uh, about when it showed all with no ice anywhere on the continent or any on the planet, right?
Right.
What about that? Are they trying to disprove that shit too?
Well, I mean, the simplest experiment for the curvature of the Earth is the straight line with the dot.
Yeah.
Shine a light through it, and you'll see that it drops over distance. And then what they try to argue that one is taking pictures because of how far you can see on the horizon. Like, oh, that's supposed to be 60 miles away, and I can see it. One that they're not showing you is they're zooming in with their cameras. So you got like 2x, so you're seeing two times the distance than you're originally seeing it.
Yeah, so I don't believe any of the flat earth bullshit never have, right?
No.
Because you and I have actually sailed around the fucking world, you
Yeah.
know. So we would have seen ice sailing east and west.
Yeah.
The only time we seen ice was going north because of how north we went or how south we fucking went. That's it.
No, I know.
And,
You're not gonna you're not gonna
and
change my mind.
no, but I thought I had to go down that rabbit hole last night too.
Right.
Because I got tired of watching the Facebook, reels, all that bullshit, right?
Hmm.
I said, fuck, I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole a little bit on this one, you know. But I was like,
I don't know why it's still so popular.
no, I don't either, But I know the diehard Christians, right? People who truly believe in the Bible, those are your diehard people. But nowhere does it state in the Bible, if the Earth's flat or round. Nowhere does it state that I remember, anyways. From going to church and all that. But I think a lot of people that believe in the Bible, all that, they're not taking into account that man did not really explore the rest of the continent, the rest of the planet at all at that time because they didn't have the means to. When the first Bible was written.
Hmm.
And if it did, it would took them a long time to do. But yeah, I just thought that was funny though. You know, but what do you think about I'll get off that subject to the new spending bill that they just fucking passed? Our dumbass government just passed.
Which part of it? I mean, they broke it down into single items like they should have been doing.
Yeah, but did they pass the fucking original bill that had 1,500 pages in it?
No, they cut it down and oh, like 100 and some pages. I'd have to get it back out, but it was like agriculture bill. They were setting money up for that. The hurricane relief was in there. Um, there's something else in there. I
But
know
the
that they cut it
hurricane
down
shit,
from 1,500.
but that hurricane relief bullshit should have never been in there because we should already had money allotted for that shit.
Well, I know it should have already been in FEMA's fund. The problem is that FEMA's fund was going to housing illegal immigrants. So they were subsidizing out of FEMA's pot of money, which would have been hurricane relief or disaster relief in a whole. And that's where that money went. They already fell through their budget with just that.
Let's see,
That
if that's going to illegals, that's bullshit because they're not even
well,
U.S. citizens and they're breaking the
everybody
law to come here.
everybody knows that.
Yeah, you know. But I wish they'd just shut the fucking government down. That's what needs to happen. You
Well,
know,
yeah.
default because we can't just keep fucking printing money, raising debt ceiling. Cannot do that.
Well, and that's the thing about inflation is that inflation is partly printing money. The problem is it's not coming back into the economy. It's going out.
Yeah.
So we're not getting anything back in the economy. So everything's staying up. So the more money you keep sending over for financial aid,
Yep.
all the spending bills, all that money that's been allocated in billions is not coming back. We're not being paid back for that money
Yeah.
that we sent out.
I just like
So
we
that's
shit.
why we keep printing it.
It's like we sent shit to fucking Egypt too. Why the fuck we sent shit to Egypt?
We've been sending stuff to everybody for a
Fuck
while.
that. No. You know, that's why I hope Trump fucking just fucking shuts them all down again. So that way we're not fucking paying everybody. You know,
Yeah, I mean, we're back to the old train of thought of buying friends.
yep.
That's what we've been doing for a long time. It's like, oh, we'll keep paying for friends. If you watch one of Elon Musk's interviews talking about World War II, the United States is the only country that's rebuilt any place that's been destroyed. So we fought in World War II and helped rebuild Germany in the areas that we bombed, and
And
Japan
France.
too,
And France too.
and France.
But Japan, we got to have bases over there, which we pretty much controlled Japan for a long time.
Well, they were moving out of Okinawa. Did you see the Marines are moving out?
I didn't see that one. Just
Yeah, they're
recently?
moving. They're moving. Yeah, they're moving out of Okinawa and going to Guam. I didn't
Damn.
see what the number of the transfer was, but I know they're
I
moving
wonder.
Marines out of there.
I wonder if they're getting tired of the fucking jarheads fucking get fucking all the women over there, getting all these rape cases over in Okinawa.
Well, not
There's
only
Joe.
that, it's like I'm trying.
There's Joe.
Gentlemen, I figured it out.
Well, good. I figured your old ass would be able to. Fuck.
I hated Zoom. Zoom reminds me of work, and that's why I quit. But it's all good. It's working.
Oh yeah. Well,
Got me
this
some
season we're just.
refreshments.
Oh
Gotta take
shit.
care of business first here. Give me a moment. What do you guys? What's the topic today, gentlemen?
Well, we started on the fucking Flat Earth Society, and
Oh Jesus!
well, because I went
Uh,
down the rabbit hole last night.
Flat Earth Society. I'll say one thing about Flat Earth Society. We're not done with the topic. Navy sailors are definitely qualified to debunk Flat Earth because you can see ships going away from you and they get lower and lower and lower, and that's not an illusion. You can also track them on radar, and as they approach the ship, when I used to stand bridge watches all the time, you could track the ship coming at you on radar so far away that on the perfect weather conditions, you'd see just the top of the mast of that ship come over the horizon and get slowly closer and closer, and then eventually when it's next to you, you see the whole damn ship. So that's fucking round. It's going over the top. So whatever.
well, and that was one point I forgot to put in when we were talking about it is when you got over the horizon targeting,
Yeah.
we can't shoot. Nobody can shoot anything over and track anything on it. That's why everybody's worried about the Russians coming up with over the horizon tracking because you could send out cruise missiles and then it would continue. Not cruise missiles, but kind of like your
We have it. So with
yeah.
the Aegis, what they were supposed to do, they never certified. I probably shouldn't even be talking about this, but they never certified where one ship would launch a weapon and
Yep.
another ship would take control of that weapon and fly it into its target. We just never did it. I think it's too risky, But it's possible.
Well, I got a
Cheers.
buddy that I went to high school with that designs, builds missiles
Cheers, John.
for the military, right?
Yeah.
I can ask him about that. See
Oh,
if he
shit.
can't talk about that though. So, because there's certain things he can't talk about. You know,
Well, yeah, I mean, there's certain things most of us can't talk about
yeah,
or talking about weapon systems themselves.
yeah. I just forgot about the agent system too. I wouldn't think about that, or like what Joe's brought up. I wouldn't think about that shit, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember what they called it. But,
You know, but like me and Matt talked about too. Fucking okay, we all three of us have sailed around the world. If there was ice all around the world like the flat Earth's clay, we never ran into it going east to west. It was only north and south. That's it.
Oh, even when we did the Iceland operations, I didn't even see anything close. Anything close when we went up there. All the way up.
It's just a bunch of cold. It's a bunch of cold water is what it is.
Well, yeah, it was one of those operations we hadn't done in 20 years just to freak out the Russians.
I don't have a cool background yet, guys. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. We don't give a shit. We're on our fucking PCs. What we're on. So.
I shouldn't even have my Patriots shit on, but it's
hey, I want the Patriots to beat the fuck out of the Bills. Come on now.
Oh man, Philly's winning against the Redskins.
I don't think that's gonna happen though, Joe. But
check this out. This is my Kuala Lumpur shot glass with the Twin Towers. Were briefly the greatest tall building.
Is that what pewter wrapped around that?
Keep drop. Yeah, something like that. Probably some Malaysian version of pewter, whatever.
Some
but I
metal.
keep breaking all my other ones. I had so many cool Westpac shot glasses, and over time, incidences have happened where they met their demise. Like my favorite coffee cup, I just dropped it the other day. I remember dropping it the next day.
Yeah, I wish I still had all the fucking Westpac shit, man. And
I don't have anything.
You know, well, I know you wish you would have kept those Scrumpy Jack fucking glasses, bugs.
Man, that one got cracked. That was one of those accidents that happened.
Because we talked about this before, not today, but weeks past. Me and Matt was, we wish we could get that Scrumpy Jack cider over here, stateside, because that apple cider would fuck you up quick.
This is it for me, man. My liver can do only one thing, and that is vodka. I mean, I was a whiskey guy. Remember when I was doing all my whiskey reviews on Instagram and whatnot, and I just kind of got away from me, and I just don't care for it anymore. Gin, forget that. If anybody drinks gin, I'm not going to talk to them.
And, I don't drink
that other funky shit, man. We've all been there. We've all puked on the sidewalk and in the alleyways and on that funky shit. But bullfrog. Right? Who remembers that far back? You go to PI, get some bullfrog and some.
I don't think Matt ever got to go to PI. I know I did.
No, I didn't get a chance to go to PI. That was like we had.
I'm sure you can still find a good bullfrog recipe, but I was a long time ago, man. That was 85, I think. No, 88 or 89. I think 90 was last time I was there was 90, and I had to be good because I was married at the time. So.
I remember playing the Smiles game when I got introduced to play the Smiles game.
No, I never did. I would get out of town to the beach way around the corner and just I kind of had this like girlfriend. She was chill, and she didn't. So the way I understand it is that the way the industry works, and it's sad because you get older. You're young and you're busting all that stuff up, but when you get a little older and you're standing some more shore patrol and you start understanding the people that are there instead of just screwing them all, it is sad because you meet some girls that are pretty shy and you don't know why, because they're getting paid to do their thing and they're at the clubs. But what happens is when the big ships come in and the big strike groups come in, all the guys from miles and miles around, the families with farms, nominate their daughters to go work in the city because they'll make enough money in a month to what the other rest of the family's making in a year. And it's just, it's very sad. They have to do it. And it's, well, I guess they don't have to do it, but, and of course the odds are that they're going to get married off, and then that helps the rest of that family get to the States. And that's the way it was back with Marcos. You guys remember the way it was with to have that base, to have Clark and to have Olongapo and the aviation station there, we were getting robbed. We were getting robbed and bribed and by Marcos and his lovely wife with the shoes. And so the deal was we had to let X thousands of Filipino guys, straight to the front of the line to join the Navy. And they all turned out to be really great guys, and they worked really hard, and they got promoted fast. But when I first came into Navy, my company commander was a Filipino guy. I'm like, I'd never seen a Filipino guy in my life. And I got to the Carl Vinson, and it was like areas of the ship were completely dominated by these dudes because I either didn't have clearances or whatever. But if you ever had to go to, personnel or particularly dispersing or supply, I mean, nobody spoke English there. They all spoke Tagalog. They're all speaking Tagalog, and you're like talking to this person guy about your fucking paycheck, and he's like turns around, blah 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 blah, and he's like, hey, dude, I'm talking to you, So, but yeah, so it's interesting. I was just thinking the other day how that's kind of faded away because a lot of those guys' kids, they all made Master Chief because they worked hard and they did their thing, but a lot of their kids didn't go in the Navy, and you just don't see them anymore. Second, third generation Filipino guys.
Yeah, I remember
not as much as what it was.
I remember when I got to the 5 in Japan. That's the first time I ever seen a Filipino person in my life, and it was all fucking electricians and goddamn.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. My company commander was an electrician.
And fucking mess cooks. Like that first morning.
Yeah, yep.
They said, "You want rice?" I said, "For fucking breakfast, no, bitch. I want biscuit, gravy, and eggs." Well, we don't make that. I said, "What?" But I loved it. Ended up loving their cooking though, actually.
Yeah.
But I was just 18 straight fucking from Midwest. Never seen fucking a lot of fucking Asian people at all.
Tell you what makes me gag though is the freaking smell, particularly at breakfast, the smell of a rice cooker. And I cannot do it. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been through that. I'm sure, Jason, you've been through because you've cooked everything in your life. But if you're sitting in the sheep's mess at 7:30 with a freaking hangover and something, the rice cooker's going, it's like, oh man, I got to get out of here. It's this weird smell like a laundry, or I don't know what the hell it smells like, but rice cookers stink, man.
The only thing I could not eat or stand for a long time after I got out was fucking chicken. I wouldn't eat fried chicken for the longest time when I got out.
Oh yeah, really?
It's something about because a lot of chicken when I got on the 5, some of it was either overcooked or underdone. Some of it was, not all of it. But Laboon was fucking worse. Those fucking cooks on Laboon, they would undercook chicken every fucking time. I was like, Jesus.
So let's go to your cookbook then and say, what's your favorite chicken of your style, and you and your son?
Smoked chicken. Well, smoked and fried.
Without giving away too many secrets, what's the gist of it? The barbecue or
Well, me and Matt showed me this fucking one recipe for fried chicken in the smoker. Remember Matt from Ballistics? Fried chicken?
I do once in a while, but very rarely. I got to get it from churches. I got to get churches or some other shit, man. I'm a non-cook,
But this recipe, you put fucking, you bread it up, then you put the bitch on a smoker, and that bitch fucking cooks perfectly, right there, on it.
So this is on a fire or in a container? Or?
It's in a drum smoker or any smoker that you have.
Yeah. So how many chickens you got in there? 20 at a time, or what? I mean, let's say you're making.
I just buy the thighs. I just buy the thighs.
Yeah.
I either buy the skinless thighs, boneless skinless thighs, or bone it. I've done both ways.
I got to get the book, man. If it's in there, I got to get the book because everybody should get a copy of that book and wait for the next one to come out. And it's volume 3 at that point.
But that would be awesome, man. But if you like my recipes, you should see some of the shit Matt cooks up.
Yeah. There you go. Maybe you guys can do a collab or something and come up with volume 3 and bring him in for the other stuff. I'm trying to graduate past Hungry Jack or Hungry whatever.
Hungry Man.
Yeah, there you go.
Hungry Man and the banquet mega meals.
Your Thanksgiving bill looked pretty good though.
Yeah, it was kind of an illusion, but it was freaking perfect, man. I'm telling you, it was really, it was. I mean, you can get some packaged mashed potatoes these days that are freaking pretty amazing. And my stepdaughter here, my roommate, she's good at the mashed potatoes Polish style. She's from Poland, and yeah, so it was just what it was the ingredients from the past, you know. So we had to have the basic stuff. And I think we used to have dinner rolls. I did have dinner rolls, but I substituted with the Hawaiian rolls. And I also had, for the hell of it, was some cornbread, you know. So cornbread always been a favorite of mine. And of course, you know, hot, split it, put some butter in there, and oh man, it's all right. But it was falling apart, you know. But I'll tell you what, as much as I cheated on that stuff, it was nostalgic. You know, I mean, I was alone for Thanksgiving. I was supposed to spend it with the stepkid, but she left, had some plans with a boyfriend, and you know how things are with me and the wife. So I wind up eating alone and watching Thanksgiving movies. But it was a good day, man, because you know what? I've had a great family and great life, and you get to sit there sometimes and sip on whatever your favorite beverage is and just think about stuff that's good from the past. So you know, I mean, what I'm trying to do is my strongest memories of everything is everything I ever fucked up, every mistake I ever made. I just seem to kind of remember that all the time, and I'm trying to just stop doing that basically because I don't need to, you know. So
Oh,
so
we
yeah, that
both.
was a good one. I think Christmas. I think I'm going to be alone for Christmas again, as far as physically, because the stepkid's got plans again, and the wife has plans for Christmas Eve with her side of the family and mine. And yeah, nobody should ask me why I'm married, but I'm still married. But I'm okay. You know, so it's good. Just put my little mini tree up today. I'll turn the lights on in a couple of minutes. That went up today, and I got some other stuff going on, and I'm in good. Always got the good spirit, man. I'm a New England boy, so Christmas is big time for me. I'm not feeling good about it. And I
And
got my brother here.
you
My
guys
brother,
are playing right now against the Bills.
yeah, it's good. Good stuff.
What's I haven't checked the score yet because it's all in another room. So
Now, Redskins just won, and it looks like they just started this game. They're only like
Shit, that reminds
10
me.
seconds
Sorry,
in.
let me switch over to the games here.
all right, here. Still nothing. I don't think the Bills are going to beat the fucking Patriots, or the Patriots ain't going to beat the Bills. Put it that way.
No, they're not.
Uh,
Patriots are, I don't know,
Yeah.
I
But
don't think so either.
rebuilding now.
if the Bills lose, then we get the automatic one seed
A
right now.
bye?
If we get the bye, if
Yeah.
the Bills lose today, we get the bye. But if we win tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Christmas Day against Steelers, then we get the bye right then and there.
Okay, I'm a cheap ass TV guy, so I got the choice between the Vikes and the Niners. I hate the Dolphins, so I'll watch the Vikings against the Seahawks. And yeah, we'll watch that, I
At
guess.
least you got that one.
I just have two games. So they used to do two games twice a day, but now they do one game in the morning and two games in the afternoon. I think I get Sunday night football. But you know what? It's just, I got to tell you, I've been in San Diego so long now that the Chargers left. It's hard to get. I'm still kind of watching them, but it's really hard to get in a groove. To pick a team, to be really in love with a team. I'm not. I thought I was a lifelong New England Patriots fan, but I mean, I was 18 when I moved from there, so that's what fucking 42 years ago. I left Massachusetts, and of course Brady was a big thing. Brady and all those guys during that time, and was a big part of that. Not him personally, but that groove we had there for a while. And
Well, yeah,
yeah,
you had Drew Bledsoe.
you can't say you're not proud of that. That's where the Chiefs are now, you know. So
Yeah. Well, you had Drew Bledsoe before Brady, and they was winning with
yeah,
Bledsoe too until he got hurt, and then Belichick decided to make that move. But
I never
Bledsoe
liked. I
got
never
taken
liked
out of the game,
Bledsoe.
but almost died from that hit.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, he went
but
to Florida. He went down south and I was proud of him. You know, everybody says that guy's crazy, but wins the Super Bowl, and so
yeah,
that was cool. But he's gone. I know, and he's an easy guy to not like. Brady is easy. Brady is an easy guy to dislike, you know, and you know, he's not a god or anything like that, but he sure had a good groove while he was with that team. It's kind of like Bobby Orr the early 70s, Boston Bruins, man. It just had this amazing crew of guys that was just kind of magic, at that time. Like Seattle, maybe 4 years ago, Seattle 4 years ago. And the guys are just, all these old guys are just moving around now to make a few more bucks and do another season or two. But back to the Chargers. I mean, I like them. I do like the Chargers. So
Except when they play the Chiefs, though.
it just sucks. Yeah, they'll get crushed, but it just sucks that they left. They when they left San Diego, they just broke so many souls, and that was one man's decision that they were going to leave of that family. So it's just, we really were waiting for this guy to do the right thing, and he just fucked us. He just stuck his finger in our buttholes, and it still has a bad feeling in people's mouths. It's hard to get over that.
Now, we was also talking about the spending bill, too, that just got passed, too, earlier, before you got on, Joe.
The spending bill, yeah. So this is Shaman. He's my stepkid's dog that's now my dog. And he's 2.5. And over here is Molly, and she is 13. So she's somewhere over there. She's on her deathbed, basically. And I'm just keeping her alive right now. But yeah, the spending bill. So for oh shit, I spilled some vodka. That's, speaking of spending, that's fucked up. But I mean, the government shutdown thing we've done a million times. That stuff, or the military budget.
No, the recent spending bill to keep the government open.
Well, yeah, all that. I don't know it, but that government shutdown. Here's what I say about the government shutdown. I do not miss that stuff, man. That's just all this stuff. When you're affiliated with the government, so let me go back to the beginning. If I get a minute to talk about stuff, when I was in high school, I was a loser, stonehead, misdirected, just banging my girlfriend, my dad waiting for me to find out she's pregnant, blah, blah, blah. Basically shit town kind of guy that with nothing to do. So my dad, the only conversation he would ever say to me was, when are you going to join the Navy? When are you going to join the Navy? When are you going to join the Navy? Because I had an older brother that joined in 78. And of course, once he left the house, my parents thought everything was perfect. He was cured. He became a man when he went to boot camp. I was much worse. They wanted me to do that. So I finally said, fuck. I think it's the first time I ever F-bombed in front of my dad. I said, I'll do it. So I went. And he just said, my dad's a smart guy. He said, just whatever you do the longest school you possibly can get, which meant the most training, I guess. And that's what I did, and it worked out great. So, yeah, but then you do 30 years in the Navy, and then the Congress tells you to retire, and you get out, and you're like, well, what do I want to do now? I never knew what I wanted to do when I went in. And now I'm retired after 10 years of some contracting shit I could do. And I still don't know what I want to do. I mean, I have no idea, other than drinking, which is not a good career. But, so talking to you guys is great, but I have lost track of the details on, what I am as a space freak. I know so much stuff about space and car racing. Those are my two specialties. Space, SpaceX and all that stuff, and the government stuff. So I was about to look at the raising the rates, because I guess they just got posted for retirement. So, and I never got around to that this morning. I got vodka like all over the table here. Sorry, guys.
Hell, you guys
bad.
Now your all's retirement pay, is it with when Social Security gets their increase and all that shit? VA gets their increase.
Fortunately, very fortunately, I have, when you do 30 years plus in the Navy or in the military, you run into enough stuff where you wind up getting a pretty good deal when you retire. So, but I did work for like 10 years after that. And so what did you guys come up on the spending bill? What were you guys saying? How far through the conversation were you guys?
I think what was Matt when I said, I wish the government would have shut down.
Yeah, we were at the same thing where it's like you were saying, these guys, everybody's argued it every year, every time it comes into the time, it's like, we're gonna shut down, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I
military, it was what was it, a few years back when Trump was in office, it was, defense budget, and like Navy Fed had to send out a letter to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, hey, you're still
Yep.
going to get paid for at least
Yep.
a month is what we have in reserve. And you're like, so there's like a month's worth of pay for everybody, just in, like for a buffer. So you always got to wonder, how big is Navy Fed's buffer for payment? Because we all know that, like, what any company is between labor and operation is 80% of any budget. Labor's always the highest cost. So this time around, it shifted to debt ceiling, and then all the pork spending, and then Congress's raise. They were supposed to bring themselves up. I think
40%.
it was at 40. I thought I seen 39.
The original one was 40%.
What's getting us is Ukraine, man. I mean, you talk about, we're coming up on $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Ukraine.
Yeah.
And I can't really say what side of that thing I'm on. I just wish that it hadn't gone so long. And I hope, but I don't know what's going to happen with that. But that's just, I mean, you can't keep printing money. And the fucked up thing is that back in 2020 hindsight, we're looking at like a president of the United States that had no fucking idea what was going on. He didn't even have a clue. This shit was just automatically happening. And that guy was, probably taking a hot salt bath or whatever. But I mean, coming up on $1 trillion for Ukraine. And maybe I'm thinking that the president of Russia is a genius. I don't know. He thought he would overrun him in 6 weeks, but now we're coming up on 2.5 years, and man, that's a shitload of money, And
Well, and that's what I was discussing too, is that you look at inflation, all that money that's been going over there isn't coming back. If they were to bring that back, it's like they're not going to pay us back. There's $1 trillion going out. It's never coming back.
Well, let's talk about that, because you guys would know this better than I do. I saw a post yesterday on X that people were starting to demand that Ukraine pay the loan to them back from the United States. And I don't think it was a loan. I think that shit was just like sent to them in a care package. Here's a chair.
Money laundering. It's coming back to the fucking Democrats.
Was it a loan?
Or people who have
some of it was a loan.
Or some of whoever has interest in Ukraine, like BlackRock and all them, it's just big money coming back to them. I think, anyways. But because fuck Ukraine is what I say. They're not even part of NATO. Why should we be spending all this money overseas when we ain't taking care of our own? Just like fucking hurricane, North Carolina people. We was talking about FEMA, the budget for FEMA. That should never have been in that goddamn spending bill. So they should already had enough money to fucking take care of those people already.
Yeah, they did. But you know what? It got taken out of there. I guess apparently, I'm not an expert here, but apparently without our knowledge, a lot of the FEMA money got yanked out of there in the background to send over to Ukraine. Now, so who knows how much of the Social Security's gone over there or whatever else has gone over there. But, this is where we're going to 2025 and see if the Doge can fucking figure out where that money went.
Well, not only that, but they found money that was going to illegal immigrant relief too.
Yep.
In what form? In hotel vouchers for luxury hotels in
New York.
seven sanctuary cities in America where those folks are. Now, I just saw some shit this morning, and I have to validate everything, but I saw this stuff this morning that California has just passed a bill granting all illegal immigrants $300 a week in unemployment, even though they just got here. Even though they are unemployed. Just you cross the border, you apply, and then of course Minnesota yesterday granted automobile driver's licenses to all illegals. You know what? If they were smart, they would arrest them and deport them when they showed up at the DMV or whatever to get their shit to take their fucking test. Hey, thanks for coming. You know how
And
they
you
do
know
those wars
why?
for criminals?
You know why they're issuing driver's licenses? Because that registers you to vote.
Exactly, exactly. And now they know where you are. So this, but all that stuff must be protected in those bills. That though it's not a trick that they're just giving them all this stuff. I mean, but if it was the way I would think about it, they would use that to track them and then be able to arrest them. Because they catch so many criminals and like these child molester dudes by luring them to a fake home with a 14-year-old kid, or they tell these other guys they won the lottery, come collect your money. When they show up, they arrest them for fugitives and whatnot. But I think Minnesota is like, no, really, we're just going to give you licenses. How do these illegals like get online to apply for this $300 a month thing? It's beyond my comprehension. I mean,
Is that
Democrats been doing this for years with the illegals. It all comes down to votes. They want them to be the new Democratic voters.
Totally that.
Because a lot of people, I know, like my grandpa who's 93 years old, he will not vote Democrat no more. And a lot of people are starting to wake up to what the Democrat Party has turned into too. I mean, just look at Chicago. Chicago actually fucking almost went red this year.
Yeah. Sick of that shit.
If you watch that town hall, where a lot of people there was from the black community, they was all wearing Trump shit. They're like, no, we're done with you motherfuckers in office, giving all these illegals every fucking thing. We're done with that shit.
New York State, a lot of state flipped, districts flipped, a lot of California districts flipped, but mostly up in the northeast rather. So,
yeah,
but
Humboldt County and stuff like that.
That's it. The interesting thing is here also is well, everybody conservative or wanting to protect the country is grateful that the election went the way the election did. Thank God for that, man. I don't even know what I would have done if it went the other way, but I'm not gonna shave my head. Well, I don't have any hair, so that's convenient. But anyways, yeah. But I mean, you think about this. You think about the popular vote, and it's the popular vote. California has 34 million people in it. It's like a tenth of the United States, and they're always liberal. So, and Trump won the popular vote, even with that giant weight of 34 million votes. So much of the rest of the country voted for him, and a lot of Californians voted for him. It's always been impossible for somebody other than California to decide the popular vote because it's just a fucking huge country on its own, But
and New York plays part of that too.
Yes, another huge city, another huge state. Yeah, for sure.
Now, wasn't the last time California had a Republican governor? Was that fucking Schwarzenegger?
Schwarzenegger, the governor was the last guy. Yes.
And that's sad that a Republican in that state cannot win a fucking seat anywhere hardly. It's fucking sad.
I don't know how much stuff he got done. I remember that very popular guy at the time, at the peak of his, post bodybuilding career, making a bunch of movies, taking a break from that, and he did okay. But I mean, I don't really know what changes were made other than just people that were Republican being happy he was in office. To be honest, this place is always been a mess. I like living here, but if I was a real political animal, I would not be here. But it's mostly the weather. You remember the weather out on the West Coast, so it's not bad. And fortunately,
Schwarzenegger got elected. See, you remember his ex-wife, Maria Shriver, right?
Yeah,
she's part of the Kennedys.
Yeah.
So that connection right there got him elected, I think, anyways. Plus, him being a very popular actor too, and bodybuilder too.
Yeah, he took the Ronald Reagan stance.
Yep.
He took the Reagan win.
And he was before that, I think, the previous Republican governor.
Mm-hmm.
And he did really well here, so but that's I think before my time. So that's way fucking back if it's before my time, right?
I know.
But hey, let's say I don't know how many folks are watching, but first
Well,
of all,
well,
let's
we're
throw out a happy let's throw out a Merry Christmas unless
well,
we're
we're
having
recording, well, Joe. We're recording right now to upload
great.
it because
Oh,
I
great.
got to figure out how the live stream loops back so we hear it constantly.
Right. Yeah, I
So
did see the recording that came on. It's great.
and stuff. So yeah, and yeah, I like your idea. Wish everybody happy Merry Christmas and all that stuff. So
You
Yeah,
can't
Merry,
say it,
Merry
man.
Christmas and a
I
Happy
love
New
those
Year.
I love those reels where there's Harris is saying, "How dare we say Merry Christmas?" and then 1 second later, it's like Trump's just giving you fucking permission again. Of course, a lot of that shit's taken out of context, but I don't care. I mean,
I've always said Merry Christmas. You know, people with a happy holidays got going right.
yeah,
I'd be at Walmart. They'd be like Happy Holidays. I look up. I said, "It's fucking Merry Christmas, goddamn it!" I said, "Not Happy Holidays."
yeah.
You know.
So for the future viewers that are liberals, hey, I'll tell you,
Well, actually, me and
we
Matt
need
had this conversation months ago when you go through your government class. Remember that the
Yeah.
true, like a true conservative and a true liberal, are more in common than what they realize
Oh yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, they
about
do.
their values.
Yeah,
It's the fucking the far left is fucked up the liberal name.
the purple headed girls like
Yep.
with the nose rings, those ones. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. It's
Yeah,
one country
it's
it's one country unless you're a chick with that can't get laid that has a nose ring and purple hair, and then you got problems. So,
well, remember Trump went to a liberal um like town hall and sat and talked with the actual true liberals.
Yep.
And come to find out after that meeting, they had way more in common than they had to disagree. And Trump was sitting down to actually make concessions with the liberals, to see where they were at to get their vote.
was
You
this
know,
the was this the event where he was invited into the what basically was a beast or a beehive was the black the African American event there where he was sat
no,
down.
No, that's a
no,
different one.
that was a separate event. That was like it was a town hall with the black journalist. I think it was. I can't remember there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Black
black
Journalist of
journalist.
America. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the Black Journalists of
That's
America, and that's where they the one lady tried attacking him and just roasted her.
Now this
I,
Matt's talking about a
well,
different one. You know,
Yeah, there was another one. I want to say I can't remember, like Wisconsin or something. Anyway, he sat down at a little town hall meeting for like true hardcore liberals, and they had a good meeting. A lot of outcome came out of it. Last I heard, I mean, this has been a while ago when he's campaigning.
last time he was president or
No, this time
this
around.
time.
this election cycle. Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting. I'm gonna try to look into that. That would be pretty cool to watch that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I
It
like watching
was
his
pretty
stuff.
good.
I have so much confidence in him. I used to stress like these presidential debates and stuff like that. I'd be pussified. Can't even watch them. I just want to read what the results were in the morning. I can't stomach, ice skaters, the best ice skaters. So I'm waiting for them to fall at those ice skating competitions and these fucking president and these presidential debates, man. I mean,
Exactly.
I don't mind car crash. I don't mind car racers crashing their cars, but presidential debates, I'm like, oh man, this could be the whole thing tonight, and it was for us. I mean, it was for me this year when Biden and Trump did their thing, but who would know going into that was going to happen? But
And,
yeah,
and
you're right.
Trump even took it easy on fucking old Biden during that debate.
It sucked, And to me, the killer, the total killer for that one was I saw a video. I saw a brief video later on of him physically exiting the stage, and his wife was there, and another aide helping him to find his direction and watch out for the first and second steps.
Mhm.
And I just felt for that dude. I was like, man, this country has just been fucking out of control for like 6 months, and we just didn't know because they're just spewing all this shit. Oh no, he's fine. Da, 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 da. And it's like, man, you got to eat. They had to eat so many shit sandwiches in that last month before the election. There, if you think about it, anybody on Harris's side that was not worried. I mean, I was on Trump's side and I was worried somewhat. You know, I mean, miracles can happen. He did it the first time, so you know, and then this bullshit happened the second time. But politics is a tough game, and mathematics is a tough game, and fraud is a ballsy game. But people do it anyways. But yeah, it's I just kind of feel blessed that it was clean. I think it was clean, and nobody's saying it's really not. And looking back at it, a lot of the liberals must really look at the post report stuff on the election and go, yeah, that makes sense. It had to go that way. No wonder he won. You know, I mean, there's no way she was going to win. You know, but anyways.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you said fraud, I was thinking they just arrested a lady that was registering in Pennsylvania. Dead people again, and just absolutely fake people. It was a coalition that Pennsylvania put together. They were back to registering dead people. Democrat Party, which has always been a joke, and they actually caught somebody doing it.
Well, they've been caught in Minnesota doing it, Michigan,
and still,
yeah.
Trump crushed them. It's still this is what the alive people in the United States said. We're just going to make sure we got a big enough buffer to cover all this crap, and we did it. You know, so I mean, I keep saying we. If there are any liberal folks watching this show, yeah, everybody's equal in the United States, and you guys are invited to participate in the next 4 years instead of crying about it or whatever. But let's get on with life and let's all make the country better together. You know.
Yeah.
It's just it was a resounding victory.
But I think the funniest thing come out of this election, all those far left women shaved their heads and said, "I'm not going to be with a man." I'm like, bitch, no man's going to want to be with you anyways.
That's pretty sad, and it's a good thing. I think it's a positive thing. How fast all this shit just died in the press. This G4 thing, whatever the girls B4, whatever you call it, the girls were not gonna marry, not gonna date, not gonna have babies, not gonna have sex, shave your heads. That whatever that thing was, that lasted like 3 days, you know, and I feel bad for the gals that are gonna take 6 months to grow their hair back, but it's just all quiet now, you know. And then the whole building of the new cabinet is quiet. That's just going on. People are, you know, Matt Gaetz out of there. Okay, there was some controversial dudes, and they did the right thing and said, "Yeah, I'm not going to push my way through this thing."
What about Hetzek? What do y'all think about him?
You know, he gets it. He's a war hero. He gets it. Man, I'll tell you what. Imagine me running for political office. You guys know me a little bit, but you guys don't know everything that the press would do if they started digging through shit. But you know, I don't mind not being in prison right now. But if I really had aspirations for public office, I would probably wind up in prison just because I'm trying to do that. You know, and it's that's a dirty, nasty, freaking arena. It's just horrible. You know.
Yeah, it's definitely a gladiator arena.
So go to Diddy, go to Dr. Dre, go to all these dudes that are just either going to commit suicide or do life in prison now. Man, being famous is fucked up. You know, George Clooney. It's just. Thank God we're just regular folks. You know, that's all I would say. You know, I did my thing in the Navy. Happy for that. I wasn't lost. I did a really good job at what I did, as you did, Jason. And you know, we were there, and we put our whole hearts and souls into that job while we're doing it. And not even the weirdest thing was we didn't do it for the money. We just did it because it's the United States, and it just was a cool feeling to be out there on one of the ships in the military. It was fucking awesome, man. I mean, the commanding officer's got a lot to do with it, but it was still, man, I never bitched about the CO. Our job was to tell the other guys to quit crying. And just, here's what you got. Make the best of it for you. Let's just make the best of it for you, and let's go, you know?
Shit, I love the fact that, just like you said, but I also love the fact that we got to go all over the world and screw all these women. That's what I liked.
Yeah. And when we pulled into port, we weren't there to pull into port for fun. We were there to pull into port to show these folks that invited us into port what an American is like. So that's why we were obligated to kind of, behave ourselves. And
Be
And no,
ambassadors.
well, we didn't
Yes,
really behave
yes.
ourselves
yeah, exactly.
on it. But no, he's also talking about Okinawa. Matt said the Jarheads are leaving Okinawa, going to
Mhm.
Guam.
Yeah. They're pulling them out, moving some of them to Guam. Like I said, I didn't dig too far and see the numbers and the exact, reduction in it, but it's like part of an ongoing deal. But they're trying, they're moving out. So
Yeah, they're probably
Is that
getting
a
tired from
money?
all the rape
Is that a
cases over
money
there.
thing, or is that a money thing, or is that a political thing?
I think it's both. I think it's a political thing, and there's probably money involved also.
Too many DUIs, too many rapes, and bad. Yeah, the only reason we would shut down a base or something like that is because it's fiscally. I think we would do it to balance some fiscal thing, and also say, well, by the way, yeah, we're leaving for the good of the people because they wanted us to go anyways. Like when we left the Philippines. So after Pinatubo, right? You guys remember? I don't know if you guys remember that far back, but we had Clark Air Force Base and Longapo and all the other two bases down there for the Navy, and then the fucking volcano came in there and wrecked everything. I was there after the volcano, and we literally ordered parts for the ship that came in boxes that had volcanic ash in them because the supply building's roofs had to collapse. That was pretty crazy, but yeah, there's always a reason to spin it up to say, well, we're going to save money, but we'll tell the people to make them happy that we're leaving because that's what they wanted us to do. So,
Well, what's interesting about bases too, is I just read the article that Trump's talking about trying to get back after the Panama Canal, and we shut down the Panama base a long time ago, but it's still there because I remember refueling there.
I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah, like twice.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested if he reopens that as part of trying to get the canal back. Because we're being gouged to go through there.
That being said, I think there's another canal being built. I mean, I might be crazy, but I thought I saw something about.
There is. I don't remember where, but I know there's talk of building another one.
I thought it was in progress already, but yeah, interesting. But yeah, that base was tiny. We had one pier, and I was on a counter-narcotic deployment with the Callahan before I went to the Fife. Like I left the Callahan. Basically, was kicked off the Callahan and put on the Fife. So with Jason, and yeah, we man, I'll tell you what, that was a good Liberty port. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it is. I love Panama.
We would go over the bridge in some van. Yeah, it was good Liberty at Panama. Yeah, okay. But the cool thing was, the specific thing I remember about Panama that was unique was these foxy little girls, foxy little ladies with this black military outfits on and Uzis, and they were basically really security force people, and they were everywhere, and they had Uzis and sidearms, and they were not to be messed with. But they were all little tiny law enforcement machines, and man, it was just a weird environment, but we liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of dirt bikes with them sitting on the back of them.
Yes. Yeah.
Just sitting there with an Uzi, riding on the back.
Yeah, like nothing else. Like nothing. I think that's great.
All right, of all the places that y'all been, where was your favorite place to eat food at?
Oh, Thailand, right off the bat.
Liberty?
Yeah, what was the best food you ever had overseas?
Food. A PI. Yeah. I had nothing to do with it. My girlfriend said, "You're probably going to like this, and if you get hammered and she cares about you, she's probably going to want you to eat something good, but it would be a PI, just because." So if you're really Liberty hound and you're really getting the most out of your 3 days in port, you're not going to eat because it prevents you from getting drunk faster, I guess. But
well, you're going to eat what you get the munchies. You're going to eat, but I never wanted to eat at like the fast food places like a lot of people did. I'm like, no, let's go to the street vendors.
Right? That's right. Absolutely.
I got two favorite places: Hong Kong and Thailand.
Hong Kong was pretty good.
But Hong Kong, the food was better in '97. You know,
You
they were
guys
so,
are you guys were in Hong Kong, crawling around in the market,
yeah.
and picking a booth there that you want to. Yeah, I totally hear you, man. Because you know what, while you're eating your food in Hong Kong, leaning up against the booth, the whole rest of Hong Kong market is to your right and to your left. And as you satisfy your hunger, the experience is fucking amazing. And then you look over your head and there's like 60 stories of shitty apartments.
Yep.
And the smell of in a Hong Kong experience, that would be it, because the smell of the cooking. Yeah, I totally agree with you guys, man.
And
Totally.
then you go over to the Kowloon side.
See, I remember being there in '97 when the British still had it, and then in 2000 when it got turned over to the Chinese.
Mhm.
In '97, Matt wasn't there, you wasn't there yet. This is
Yeah.
when we were still in Japan, and well, this is what we bunch of us out drinking. Then all of a sudden, I was like, "Fuck, I'm getting hungry." Here's this little fucking street vendor, right? Beef on a stick. I said, "Okay, let me try this." You know, they had some barbecue sauce on it. Well, it's very good. They said, "How you like your beef?" I said, "This ain't beef, motherfuckers. What is it?" They said, "No." I said, "Motherfucker." I said, "My grandpa." I said, "I was raised fucking with cattle. I know what beef tastes like." They said, "It's dog." I said, "Well, it's a good fucking dog. I'll tell you that." So everybody wants to, throw the cats in it for Chinese cooking, right? No. You see cats everywhere. You don't see no fucking dogs running around. Like Mexican food. You see cats. You see more cats, but not, you see more dogs than cats.
So there's your stick dog story. I'll add to that stick dog story. The first time I went to the PI was my 21st birthday, which sucked because I was on duty on the ship. But the other days around that, I had Liberty, and I remember one night on Liberty waking up from a blackout at this intersection, 4 streets, north, south, east, west. Had no idea where I was, but I just woke up out of this blackout. But anyways, you could go to a guy there, the vendors, and they would have stick dog, which means dog on a stick, like you can order here breaded in the United States. But no, over there it was a fucking dog on a stick, and it was delicious. I mean, I had if you're totally jonesing for some food and you're just beyond crawling on your knees as a 21-year-old or 20-year-old after the hardest fucking Liberty possible, and you'll eat anything.
Exactly.
A couple pesos for a couple stick dogs, and you're like, hey, that shit's delicious, man. And I know
there was one country, it was over days, I can't remember exactly where we was at, but I remember we was eating horse, and that was some damn good meat.
You've eaten everything, though, man. You've eaten everything. You've eaten
I know the French do.
Snake, possum, all that shit, right?
And I remember fucking in Thailand, they had monkey brains all there. Real monkey brains, too.
Yeah.
I tried that.
What?
Monkey brains.
It's like a dessert.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I tried that. Oh, hell yeah.
For the guys old enough to remember the Faces of Death movies.
Oh, yeah.
They have bunch of people eating monkey brains on that. And Jason, I salute you, but yeah.
I had to try it. I was drunk as a motherfucker, too.
Hey, they're putting that. It's on Amazon Prime. The first one's on there now. First Faces of Death is on there.
I'm about to rewatch that son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's
first. Have you guys seen those? The first couple of them?
Oh yeah.
They're fucking shocking. They're shocking. I'm surprised they're not banned now, but the first, I don't remember which one had the Faces of Death, but there was a bunch of people sitting around a table and it bang, bang, bang on this monkey's head, and I think he was dead already, but they just busted his skull open and like a fucking walnut and started scooping his dude.
Over there in Asia, you could get any type of food you wanted in Asia. I mean, I'm sure there was places that had rat. I'm sure we ate rat too. We just didn't know.
The best food there for me, you get a hotel and you get a room and you get a place that has a beautiful deep pool, and then you order a bunch of calorie-free fish tacos, 0-calorie fish tacos, and which comes with a great bunch of entertainment. And that's how you do it. And if you want to go eat some actual food after that, you take those other folks out on a date, and it turns out to be a wonderful night.
Yeah, see the hotel.
0-calorie fish tacos, strongly recommend.
See, the hotel me and Matt stayed at is no longer there.
Yeah, Sea Pearl's gone.
Yeah, after tsunami took it out.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Patong Beach.
Yep.
Holiday Inn that I stayed at too was
Oh.
gone too.
Yeah, because we had a room for all 5 days because I took Liberty. I mean, I took fucking leave for that for because I also took Kavanaugh's fucking shit in Australia too. His duty when his wife came out to see him.
No,
So
that's back in the day when you could go off the ship on your own. So
Yes.
so what ruined the life for the Navy, what ruined retention for the Navy was the buddy system. I mean, it's a smart thing. I think it's a smart thing. I don't know if they have any statistics on what saved the world for that, but for me personally, even when I was a chief and a senior chief, I'm not going to lie, I did everything I could do to figure out how to circumvent the buddy system. And I'm not going to falsify a log. I mean, I'm going to leave with some people I know, and I'm going to come back with some people I know. But when I'm out there, man, you can't embrace it. Yeah. You shouldn't embrace it with a bunch of other knuckleheads. So let's see, you get 4 or 5 guys from your division, Jason, on the Fife, and they all go out at the same time. And 1 guy or 2 guys or 4 of them fuck up, and you're standing there, and you're the only guy with your shit together, and following the faith and the orders of the commanding officer as far as conduct on liberty, and you're standing there going like, I'm fucked, man, and everything's ruined, and this has been a waste of time because one dude's puking on the sidewalk and arguing with the fucking MPs, and I hated that system. Plus, it was harder to get intimate.
Shit, I got thrown in the paddy wagon in fucking Darwin, Australia.
Yeah. Oh, I'm shocked.
No, what Darwin was Townsville, Australia.
I remember. No, I don't remember that.
I got so fucking hammered. I thought I was on the sidewalk, right?
Was Darwin
on the fucking middle of the road.
We weren't even supposed to pull into Darwin. Holy shit!
No, this was Townsville, not Darwin.
So let's hear this. Let's hear the story, man. Townsville. Townsville. I remember that.
We got so fucked up, because it was Memorial Day when they pulled in there. So we had only place we could drink was at the restaurants. Remember?
A shitty little town, man. I remember that.
Yeah.
But by the end of the night, when the bars opened up, well, we'd start drinking, power drinking with these Aussie girls, right? Oh my god, damn! By the time we left the strip club, I was so fucking out of it. I thought I was on the sidewalk. I was walking in the middle of the street, and here come these 5 little cops, right? Trying to get me on the sidewalk. I said, motherfucker, I'm on the sidewalk. That's how fucked up I was. And then one of them grabbed me, and I tossed his ass. Then here we go, throw me in the paddy wagon. But I could still go out in Liberty the next day. What was that, Charlie Liberty? I could still go out, still drink, all that bullshit.
So that Liberty port, that Liberty event, that story, would you blame it on yourself, or would you blame it on an instigator that did a little bit too much to mess you over?
Oh no, that was all me. That was all
partner in crime.
That was all me right there. On it. The next morning, here comes, I was still fucking drunk. Here comes Ureta. You remember Ureta, don't you, Joe?
Yeah, I do.
Here comes Ureta.
I haven't heard that in a long time, man.
Here he comes dragging me out of the goddamn round. He said, motherfucker, you're going out with me today. So that way I can keep your ass in line. I said, fuck.
Man.
Okay.
That's a shipmate. That's the kind of shipmate you want to have to help you out, man. I'll tell you what. And Aussies love us. Aussies love us from way back when, with the with these when Japan was in the slot in the wars off the Philippines, and we had these huge naval battles, right there, right next to them, where they were going to have to come out and help us. Where Japan was coming right up in their face, and we intercepted those guys and lost so many guys. Really big patriots in Australia that remember this stuff, and maybe not the second generation. We're probably going to lose that primary generation of appreciation. But even the guys, the cool thing is that all the dudes that lost their lives there in World War II, close to Australia in the battles through the Philippine Islands against the Japanese, their kids are still pretty young, and their parents, their dads are gone or whatever. So it's still right now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, it's just going to be in the books. But right now, I still feel like, I got 3. I married an Australian girl, right? So my 3 kids live in Australia. I got a son in Melbourne and a son in Australia in Perth, and a daughter in Perth who's doing great. And their mom also lives in Perth. And that's a great country, man. I love that country, and they love us too. They really they might be a little jealous of our bombs or whatever, but they might not like our aggressiveness dealing with foreign dignitaries and foreign assholes. But yeah, I've had a few arguments with my ex about our tactics, but
Shit,
all in
just
all,
love Australia with it.
I think we're happy to be aligned. That's all I'm saying.
So I remember my first port. This is '97. My first port after getting to Japan. We went down to Darwin, Australia, in '97. And I remember all the old guys, Bill Stafford, GSM Will Johnson, right? They're like, Gilly, you're gonna love Australia. The ratio of women, you're gonna love it. And the women will be waiting on the pier, right, for us. And I thought they was full of shit, and they wasn't. I was like, holy shit.
Well, we went to the small towns first, though. We went to the small shits first. Darwin, tiny town. Now, what I remember was the legend was that the black guys were sought after by the Australian girls. So if you were a black guy, girls would line up to get you picked out of the Liberty line and take you up. But what do I know about that? I mean, that's
the black guys. Yeah, they had. I mean, they were looking for the black guys too, but they didn't give a fuck as long as you American. In Darwin, they didn't give a fuck.
So yeah, Darwin, they were hosting people, and
yeah
I agree with you. And maybe marrying the kids off or whatever. In the bigger cities, they're like trying to get the whatever. But the bigger cities with the hose are trying to get the hose needs taken care of. And in the end, yeah, worked out. I was in Perth. I was in the Liberty call with the Carl Vinson, CVN 70, and I was just on Liberty. I was clubbing, and I met this gal in a club, and we kept in touch for like 5 years, and we eventually got married and had 3 kids, and then that kind of fell apart. But yeah, they're wonderful. It's a great country, and I've been there so many times, spent months and months there, and but they got a lot of flies during fly season, and they got a lot of fucking sharks off the beach that want to eat you. So if you want to go to Australia, I would go to the East Coast rather than the West Coast. West Coast is pretty brutal, man. It's pretty wild, man. That IO is like there's a lot of freaking great whites and shit in there, man. You got to be careful at the beach.
I just wish in 2000 all the way to the fucking Persian Gulf, we could have went to fucking Sydney because the Olympics were going on at that time, and they didn't want us Americans in there. No Navy ships in there.
Yes, so the Liberty system, the buddy system there, I totally get it. I was scared a lot. I was not literally scared, but the funny thing, what the hell, man? I've been there so many times where I went from being just frightened, and they would drive you only to that little base there in Bahrain, right? Where you could like do stuff, shoot pool, have a beer, get in the bus, and go through 19 lines of security to make sure you weren't carrying a bomb to go back to your ship and stuff like that.
Well, in 2000, we could go outside the base in Bahrain in 2000.
Yeah.
We still could then.
But you couldn't call a fucking cab driver Haji. So
yeah, you can.
so I hate to say this, but when I was a kid, I used to watch Dr. Quest there on what's the fucking cartoon that was? Anyways, Dr. Quest and his kids Haji and his son but anyways,
Oh, it was Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest. So I loved Johnny Quest as a kid. And then Haji was Haji. So but we used to be in the taxi cabs with a couple of dudes. I mean, a couple of older dudes. And we wind up calling the taxi driver Haji. And I watched this guy in the rearview mirror, man, and he wanted to kill us. He would look in the rearview mirror like he wanted to blow his cab up to kill us. And I didn't get it. It took me a minute to say, dude, don't say Haji because this dude is really, really offended. But
Haji was Red Dot Indian. He wore the turban and everything, right?
But we would be in the cabs. We would be in the cabs in Bahrain calling the guy Haj. Yeah. Hey Haj, do this. Hey Haj. Like in Hong Kong, you call a guy a Hop Sing. You call a guy in a Hong Kong hotel Hop Sing. He's the guy that takes care of that floor. So hey, Hop Sing hookup, Hop Sing hookup, and the Hop Sing dude would come back with the Jack Daniels from another hotel room from down the hall that they were clearing out. He'd say, "Hey, champagne." He couldn't say Jack Daniels. He would say champagne. And you go, show me the champagne. He'd be a fucking Jack Daniels bottle. Like, yes, yes, thank you, my man. Tip, 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 tip. You know.
See,
But yeah,
I let Matt do all the negotiating with that shit because I almost got shot in fucking Thailand.
what?
I almost got shot in Thailand. Ask Matt about it. He'll tell you.
True story. Well,
So
at the
I
at
was
the
Thailand on
Seapro,
handguns.
no, this was a Thai like military guard. So they knew we were in town. They knew where we were staying at. So the night that he came back, he was upset that he had to pay for an extra person for the room. I happened to show up as he's arguing, and the cop behind the manager at the hotel was ready. Like he had his hand, his hand set up, just ready to raise it. So, I mean, he was waiting. Like he was really waiting. He had a smile on his face, like, I'm going to get this dude. I'm going to get him right now. So I ended up kicking him out of the way. I talk to the manager. I get everything settled. And then off to the back, I pay off the guard too. I gave him like $20. Not 20 baht, but $20.
Oh shit.
So
because I didn't want to pay for the hooker.
It was
I paid for the hooker. I didn't want to pay for her to be in the room.
It was close. Like if I'd probably been 10 minutes later, even 5, I don't know. Probably wouldn't be sitting here talking, or be in jail with like bugs in his ears.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad. It's sad when things don't go the way you thought about it. One night I was short patrol in Olongapo, and we got called to a jeepney that had some really good dudes on it on the ship. So the dudes are normally legitimately, quietly chilled out dudes. And the jeepney driver was swearing, I'm taking him to the police station because they're pulling all my lights off. You know, jeepneys are all dressed with all the lights and everything. They're ripping all my lights out of my fucking car and blah, 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 in really super broken English. And we're like, no, we'll take care of it. No. We got the guys out of the car, jeepneys. And no, we didn't do it. We didn't do it. And put it back in the car and settled everything out. And there was some money exchange. But you know what? In the end, the worst thing was that the guys actually did it. And we took their side, and we look like idiots. But it's just a lesson learned. But those fucking guys that would never harm a flea got enough beer in them to just destroy this guy's jeepney. And it's like that, you know, it was, I won't forget that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I should have been in jail in Mexico, fucking Australia, fucking everywhere. Yeah.
So Mexico, where'd you go in the ship? So I don't even know when we came and left on that ship.
This is in 98. We was doing drug ops down South America in 98. We pulled in first went to Acapulco, then Puerto Vallarta, right?
Which ship?
Oh, the 5. This was
I must have been there. I must have been. Oh, I remember that girl who was a quartermaster who was found she liked to have sex in the fan rooms with her boyfriend. And she was a crazy one in Acapulco or whatever. So yeah, I got her taken. So I should short patrol. But anyways, continue the story.
It was me, DC even, DC3 even, fucking DC3 Kelly, and HT2
Kelly, I remember him.
We had cars go with us, so we all rented dude buggies, right? We had a hotel room, everything.
Kelly.
Well, by the end of the night, that first night, I was driving. We shouldn't have been driving. We drunk as a skunk. And cars go. We was looking for a whorehouse. When we looking for a car goes, pull over there, and I fucking just ripped it in and took a front bumper off a police car. Ended up being the fucking chief of police's car. And they're like, and we're like, we'll just pay how much? How much? No, we wait for the fucking police to get here. The car's gonna go, be ship fitter, be fixed, and just took that bumper and ripped it off. And that would have cost me about $200 American. That one to get out of that one.
That point.
So that next day, we're like, you know what? We got the dude buggy. We're gonna fucking take a road trip. We went to Guadalajara, which was about 4 hours into Mexico, where the motherfuckers don't speak no English at all. Got it? Because we was trying to find Diaz because she had family there. She went there. We was trying to find her. On it. Then we came back fucking racing dude buggies, Fucking Kelly had to have a dune buggy, so he's racing them in the streets, everything. But no, Acapulco, that's where I got fucking almost taken by shore patrol, passed out on the fucking beach, butt ass naked.
Wow, not the first time.
Because I drank a little too much tequila. And I think I was roofing to that one. Because I was working with, trying to hook up with these two girls, two Mexican girls, and
At
next thing
once.
I know, I'm passed out, butt ass naked on the beach. And here comes shore patrol. We're going to take you back to ship. I said, no, I'm going back to my hotel room, goddammit. You know, because I got clothes there. So I was walking through the hotel lobby, butt ass naked. All I heard was fucking drunk Americans. I was like, you goddamn right.
Well, we ain't doing very good for telling stories about being good ambassadors for the U.S. That's why everybody hates us.
That's what my brother said when I came home for good. He said,
Yeah.
I know why all the fucking countries hate us. It's because you fucking sailors fucked all their women. I said, yeah, probably.
Jason, does the name William Bassino ring a bell with you?
Casino, yeah.
Senior Chief Bassino.
Yep.
So, okay. I didn't know if he was on the same ship. Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
So, anyways, we're down there in those Liberty ports, and we're down in there on that cruise for those Liberty ports. I don't know if he's Puerto Vallarta or where the hell we were, but he got hammered and somehow had an idea to get a twin screws.
Yep,
tattoo.
that was the Master Chief there. That was our
You heard
Master
that story? Have you heard that story?
I was in the fucking I was watching him get it done.
Yes.
And
I
Chief
just heard about it. Holy
and Chief
shit.
Turbo, because I walked in that fucking
Turbo. There's another. Yeah,
I walked into that goddamn fucking tattoo parlor.
Man, you work
There
for
was
some
fucking-
crazy guys, man.
There's
You were
Master Chief
part of it.
and
You were
Chief
a part
Turbo
of
there.
Great crew.
And Turbo goes, Gilly, you go get a tattoo? The Master Chief goes, Gilly, we get matching tattoos. I said, oh, hell no. I ain't get my ass tattooed. Fuck you.
You were a part of an amazing engineering crew, man. You're probably just as fucking crazy as the rest of those guys, but that was amazing. That was an amazing gang of war fighters that would have done anything at any time to protect the United States.
See,
I
I
was
fucking,
so,
that's how I
so
was raised.
happy to work on that shit.
That's how I was introduced to the Navy was Chief Turbo. So,
Turbo.
when I got to the 5, I was on designated fireman. So Chief Turbo goes, I'm taking him. He's mine. Going.
Was he your chief?
Yeah.
Turbo?
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked him.
Yeah,
Good
he's
job.
the one that got me into the Chiefs mess while I was cranking. Pulled me out of the scullery. Got me in there. I tell the fucking command master chief, I pissed him off when I wouldn't keep his mayonnaise bottle full.
Who was the command chief at that time? Do you remember?
I'd have to look back at the cruise book.
The submarine guy? The submarine guy?
He's old crusty motherfucker. Looked like
I got it. Yeah, that guy. He wound up going to prison.
walked with a hunch, all that bullshit.
Yeah. He's the master.
He told me
What they call him the Seventh Fleet icon.
Yep.
They call those guys, right?
He told me, he said, Gillespie, he said, I want your fucking my mayonnaise bottle full at all times.
Man, what a ship that was. Holy shit.
And it was 3/4 full for lunch one day. And he threw that bottle at me. I said, what? It's 3/4 full. You got plenty there? Or you gonna fucking go eat the whole fucking bottle? And then Turbo and all them, the Senior Chief Collins was fucking laughing, you know. And I was told, get the fuck out of here. Go back to the scullery, you fucking sniper.
Language. Holy shit.
So I had to go back to, so I got fired from there, went back to the scullery, right? Which that's fine. I could play my fucking music however loud I want. Then the news person that was in the Chiefs mess, he took the fucking coffee cups and sent them into the fucking, that little window right there to the scullery.
Oh.
And I said, and it was Command Master Chief's first, it was his first cup that I grabbed.
That's
I
bad.
said, I'm going to get this motherfucker, right? I sent them all through the goddamn fucking scullery.
So they tricked you. Yeah.
And fucking, I got my ass ate out for that one.
Beloy. His name was,
I was like-
we nicknamed it, it's coming back to me now. His nickname was Beloy.
But I told fucking,
Beloy.
I said, Master Chief, I said, that just payback for firing me. I said, I
Beloy.
didn't have to wash it. I know you don't like your cup washed. But I said, fuck you. And Turbo and Collins, they was laughing. Fucking old Lieutenant Hayes, DPA at the time. They was all fucking laughing. You know,
Probably
'cause they
said,
knew I,
you signed your death warrant, son.
'cause they knew I did that shit on purpose too. On it, because the motherfucker pissed me off. 'Cause I was making good tips. Because the Chiefs, they tip fucking great in there for fucking, especially for pulling the port. Fuck.
Boy, Bill Williams. Bill Williams just his name Williams comes to me, but they nicked him Beloy. That was his Filipino name for his first name, and he had like couple different wives. Like every Liberty port we would show up in, he would have a different chick meeting him, and it's like that was just crazy. He didn't. That's as old school as you can get, man. I mean, that shit ended there in the 90s. I thought it was astonishing when I saw him that he would have these girls meeting him, because you remember we used to go to the Singapore, and Singapore didn't have a base at the time, so we would go to this like shipyard in South Singapore, and then once Singapore built their own base, we would go to the north side. But he was already long retired since then, but that guy was just pretty neat guy. And I remember we were I think we're in Singapore, and they had the deck guys out there, the first division guys out there, sanding the side of the ship. And one of the dudes who seemed pretty mellow, one of the kids seemed pretty mellow, lost his mind and sanded like a giant cock on the side of the ship, right? This giant fucking fuck you cock on the side, and he fucking crashed out. And then the next day, you know, the XO and CO are coming to the ship, and they see this giant cock ground into the side of the ship. It must have been fucking 40 feet long, man. And I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. And the dude went to mass for that, obviously, but it was like, not that guy. Why would not this dude? And then ground it down and painted it Hayes gray, primer and Hayes gray. But it was crazy, man. I'm not shitting you. That happened, man. That's crazy.
Only us.
That's the only port I was good at. Both times I got to go Singapore. That's the only port I washed my P's and Q's in.
So let me remember Singapore. It was called what was the name of that? It was called, okay, I got it. The Terror Club. The Terror Club.
Yep.
Yeah, right? It was in Singapore.
So if you're at the base with the ship and you left the base, you would have to walk by the Terror Club, which had a really nice restaurant and a nice pool, and it was all chill. But what I'm saying is, a couple of years after that, the Singaporeans built their own base, which was super military and giant piers and all this stuff on the other side, of the north side. So only really reason I follow Singapore shit now is the Formula One Grand Prix of Singapore, which is a really good deal. And yeah, I mean, it was. I remember this one time we all went. The Chiefs went out on Liberty. They had good places they would stay, but these places never had AC. They had these beautiful marble floors and all this kind of stuff from like the 40s and 50s, right? But before like AC was even introduced there, you had to just deal with it. And they would get these. That's amazing. So obviously the wardroom's going to get a hotel place. Wardroom's going to get a wardroom place. The Chiefs mess is going to get a Chiefs mess place. The first class mess might get a first class place where you just kind of meet and take advantage of and sleep there when you're drunk or whatever. Meet up there, whatever. But this one place, the guys get the van and they're driving the van, and there was like probably 8 or 10 of us, and then we wind up in this alleyway, and this bunch of chicks. It's nighttime, and they're this is the truth. I'm not gonna lie, this is the truth. Bunch of dudes are like, take my backpack, and they went off into the night to do their thing. I had like literally 10 guys backpacks, 10, 12 guys backpacks. And then I just stood there for like 30 minutes, 35 minutes, however these guys took their 90 seconds or whatever, and slowly started coming back in out of the weeds to take their backpacks back. And I did resist that time. I don't even know why, but I wind up being the only guy standing there watching the whole procession of guys leaving and coming back from their dates and picking up their backpacks and get back in the van and go on to the next club, you know. But so the classic Singapore thing is called, and you guys have heard this before, four hordes of floors, right? 4 hordes of floors, and I'd never been there. So in my career, as many times I had a chance to go to 4 floors of horrors, I never went to that club where you could just keep going upstairs for 4 different floors, meeting chicks and doing whatever you do with those chicks. But yeah, the 4 floors of horrors is a famous kind of like old school Navy phrase that I was not able to witness, and I don't feel any worse for not having done that.
I never went to that place in Singapore.
Have you heard?
Like I said, I was a good boy. I was a good boy in that town. I didn't want to get caged.
That's good
at all. Because right before the first time I was there, fucking 97, we pulled in there, and that's when that American kid, keyed those cars and got fucking caged for it. I said, I ain't getting fucking caged. Fuck you. On it. This stuff, but
you beat those guys' asses, no problem. They're little tiny guys. If you had a physical confrontation, you would always win if you're American.
Yeah, because I remember we always had to walk. If we walk off the base,
there's no guns there. There's no guns there. They're not going to stab you. You just got to beat them up.
But we had to walk past the prison too. You know, the first time we pulled in there, we had to walk by the prison. And I remember the fucking guys being out in the yard. They had these tattoos numbered on their fucking forehead. And when we got to the fucking the bar we was going to, I asked the bartender, I said, "Why do those prisoners have tattoos on them?" He said, "So that way when they get out, we know they're fucking criminals." I said, "Oh, fuck."
It's like some inglorious bastard shit.
Yeah. Zeus, get the fuck out. Leave fucking go lay down. Lay down, black bastard.
I'll be in and out. I'm gonna cook some bread and stuff.
Yeah, and stuff. But no, speaking of Guam, not Guam, but Okinawa, those fucking new jarheads or sailors, they ain't gonna get to go to Whisper Alley no more, then, are they?
Seriously. Absolutely.
Shit, I love that place. Fuck. I remember being 18 years old, fucking, guys trying to pull me out from one of the horse shacks. I was like, I ain't done yet, motherfuckers. I said,
but you know what? Looking back at it, it was fun. So there you go. Got a chance to experience that.
Shit,
so now we're going out. Now we're going to go out live on a recorded. Yeah. So there you go, folks. Folks, take it as you take it. That's the way it was.
I just hope YouTube don't fucking ban us.
We're talking about Navy history here. Yep. The 80s, 90s, and 2000s of not bad guys that had good careers, guys that did the right thing, guys that had hard-working careers and did amazing things to help the ships conduct operations and protect the United States, but are imperfect, So,
but that's what we
a couple of divorces, but you know what? We aren't the guys that were on the ground in Iran and Iraq and Afghanistan getting blown up and killed, walking over fucking bombs, stuff like that. And but we still were ready to fucking die. We knew how to protect the ship. We knew how to die in the ship. We knew how how when things were going to get bad, we knew how to defend the ship. And if the offense overcame the defense on the ship, we were going to die. And we all knew that. So that's why we trained the way we trained. Yeah. And we did that for years.
Well, and that's why we had
Jason got hurt. Fucking got shit fucked up, and I got banged up a little bit, but got to hang out for a long time, and that's pretty much the story,
But that's on the West Coast mentality. That's the mentality we had on the West Coast at that time. You worked hard, and you played even harder.
Well, the other thing was, this is one thing I never gave a fuck about. Was the word was always on the West Coast that the East Coast was better than us. And I got fucking, that's why I'm probably on the West Coast. Fuck you guys, man. I'm going to make my career. So when the detailers said, oh, you should be diversified, you should get an East Coast tour, West Coast tour, overseas tour, all this other stuff. every time they came out with that shit to tell us how to guide our careers,
Yep.
within months they would rescind it because of money. They're like,
Yep.
oh yeah, well we wanted you to do a West Coast and East Coast and overseas tour, but we can't afford to pay you to go there now, so we're not going to say that anymore. And, you know, in the end, Jason, it comes down to the person, you know,
Yep.
your character and your work ethic.
Yep.
And if you
Scout.
and you do what you did, and you did good, there's plenty of guys that weren't willing to work as hard as you were. You didn't have to kiss ass. You didn't have to give the guy a blowjob like you do now in the modern men and women Navy, or whatever they do to do what they do.
Yep.
You know, that's one of the reasons I'm glad I left, because I saw chiefs fucking compromising themselves to marry Lieutenant JGs and look at me and go, fuck you. This is our lives, you know? I mean, there's a particular couple that I would never expect to have happened in my whole life, but this chief got involved with this lieutenant and a female lieutenant, and they're still happily married. And it just blows my mind that stuff is even an option. And I'm happy for him. And in the way I'm happy for him, because magic is magic, you know, stuff happens. But these two guys, I'm like, you got to be kidding, you know? And there was plenty of couples. Look, there was plenty of couples that were, how do I say this? One guy's at one command, his wife's at another command. Both of them are cheating on each other at their commands. I mean, you can't get any more stupid than that. And it's the integrity check. You could work your ass off. I'll give you an example for a guy. I knew this guy named Steve, good guy. He was my LPO. He comes to my ship. I won't say ship X. I'm the warrant officer. I got a chief. I got an LPO. His name is Steve. Shows up on the ship. Super cocky, right? Good at what he does, but just super cocky. He's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make chief. I'm going to do this and that. He did all that stuff. And the guy leaves the ship. It takes a couple years to make chief, obviously. So he winds up getting selected for chief, leaves the ship. I'm already gone from the chief. I'm like, congratulations on your selection, blah, blah, blah. So I'm on my next ship, right? And a couple months later, this second class petty officer walks on the ship, and it's Steve, right? So Steve was a chief. He walks on my ship. He's a second class petty officer, and he holds his hands in the air, and he like smiles at me like, hey, you know, what can I say? And I looked at him like, what the fuck, man? You know, because he was a good guy. He was pretty arrogant, but he was a good guy. And looking back at it, what happened was that he made chief. He went in the mess and immediately let it go to his head and started this affair with this chick. And it's like, dude, you're just brand new chief, still not even getting paid yet, frocked, as we say in the Navy, frocked. If anybody wants to get a frocking explanation given to them, just let us know. And then the next episode, we'll tell you what it's all about. But yeah, the poor guy, you know, I mean, he shows up and he's got like 14 years in the Navy and he's an E5. So because he's got 14 years in the Navy, he's E5, because he was reduced in rank from chief select right blown through E6 back to E5. He's now at higher tenure, which is another thing I can explain in the next episode, higher tenure. And he's getting kicked out. So there you go. The guy goes from best career ever, getting what he wants, to getting booted out of the Navy at the 15-year mark. And his dad, who I had met, was very, very distraught. It was just a bad situation. So keep your dick in your pants, guys, and I guess, and keep your mouth shut when you're in the chief's mess. You can't. You go in the chief's mess. They say what goes in the mess stays in the mess. Some guy backstabbed him. You know, he talked some shit. He did some dumb shit, and then he talked about it. And then some other guy who needed to advance beyond him fucked him over, stabbed him in the back. So it's. But I know one thing about Steve: he's resilient, and he will be making money and doing good stuff in some other in some other vein of what he's doing. I haven't seen him probably in 4 or 5 years now, but I think he works at maybe I won't say he's probably still here in California, but he'll be fun. It's just so shocking how that Navy career. If you're a cold cut Navy career guy, or any other political path that you really believe people should stick with, it was really painful to see that he had just destroyed that.
Well, all it takes is one time or a couple times getting caught doing something you're not supposed to be doing to get sent to mass. The fuck your career up.
And how do we avoid that, Jason?
Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't avoid it.
Sometimes you can't. Just don't be stupid. I mean, so Turbo. So let's go back to the fight. Turbo.
Let me grab a beer first. For this.
All right.
Let me grab a beer. I'll be right back. Be right back.
All right. Yeah. You do your leak thing. And, I'll pour another beverage here. So, hey, folks. I appreciate Jason inviting me to his event. And he should probably called it at 30 minutes or 60 minutes or whatever you put it.
Fuck it. We're going to keep going. Fuck it.
Hey, I'm going to ask you about the fight. Man.
Yeah.
So now you got Turbo, you got Pacino. So we got this female warrant officer at some point, right? Beautiful. She was beautiful. I'm not going to lie. She was beautiful. And I had no idea. I remember being in the wardroom. I don't know if I was a chief. And I remember seeing this hot chick in khakis, and I was just like stunned that she was wearing a warrant officer emblem. But anyways, we went to overseas, and there was a young ensign guy. I can't remember the guy's name now, but he wound up being super successful in the Navy. And he says, I can do that job. So she was the MPA, right? So she was the main propulsion assistant. And she, quote unquote, refueled the ship one time too many after dark and got fired and got sent back to America. So I don't even remember any of that stuff, but
oh yeah. See, that
what she was doing was dating the MR. What the fuck was that guy's name? Thor. Remember Thor?
Vaguely. I remember the MR.
She was married to a Master Chief.
Yep.
And she's out in town with Thor, with this Neanderthal guy named Thor, who's the MRC, which is good guy, but I mean, this is back in the crazy neighborhood where I should have been with that chick. But
and that same fucking chick gave somebody the crabs in the rib boat one night.
Yep. So they found a reason to get rid of her, and she was fired in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, whatever.
Yep. And that's when Lieutenant Williams, she was a black female. She was the first black female MPA.
Oh, that one. I remember that one. Who got? Oh, let's talk about that one. Holy smokes!
I liked her. I liked working for her. She was great.
And what did she do?
She was the MPA.
And well, what did she do after that to get her fired?
No, she didn't get fired. This one didn't get fired.
I think I'm thinking about the one that got sent to prison for having sleeping with the MPA. Oh wait, no, that was a different chick. That was a supply officer. Yeah. So no, this girl was a white girl and cute, but I mean, I looked at her like an ensign, and she was a warrant officer. I go, this chick's lady, like in her 30s, and she started like dating Thor while we were on deployment, and then Thor was in charge of refueling the ship, obviously, and I guess didn't call the captain at night. Or I don't remember what time, but the thunder I heard was she got fired for refueling the ship one time too many at night without the captain's permission, and they just got rid of her because. But I think it was a sex thing. It was a sexist thing.
Yeah, she's the one that gave some guy crabs in the rib too.
I don't think she needed to get fired, but they fired her, and I do think that was a sexist thing. I do.
Yeah, but when you're an officer, you can get fired just like that for any little thing. When you're an officer.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's the way they railroaded her. But I don't appreciate for her how she was like seen out in town on Liberty holding arm in arm with Thor while she was married to a Master Chief back in San Diego. So it's an integrity thing where the wardroom looks at her and goes, you know what, this is not working good. So, and Bill probably had a lot to do with that. So Bill had a lot to do with that, and I guess, and to get rid of her, and they just didn't want that female in that position. And to me, it was like borderline sexism, or I don't know. She could have conducted herself differently. She could have been a fucking raging fucking bull dyke and like a crew cut and all this other shit. And then everybody said, "Oh yeah, that's cool," you know. But she was a really hot little lady and good looking, and Thor of all the beasties we had in the Chiefs mess on that ship at the time, that'd be the last guy I would expect her to be with. So maybe Thor had something super special going for him that she liked. I don't know.
He could touch his fucking tongue to his forehead. That's what she liked.
Maybe he had bullcock. Can I say bullcock on here? Anyways, I applaud Thor. We've kept the judge. Me and Thor have always been good. So, and Thor, amazingly, in the MR rate, which is impossible to make rank on, Thor eventually made senior chief MR, a machinery repairman, and I think that that rate was eliminated at some later point. It was absorbed by somebody else, you know, like data systems and like a bunch of other rates that just got conglomerated into some other rate.
Well, just like how Bowler Techs, you know, got converted to GSMs.
Yeah.
Vecino.
So Vecino was a GS. A lot of MMs wind up becoming GSs or whatever. It's a total screw job, but I mean, it's like
the Turbo was a fucking BT.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But Turbo was good at what he did because he knew what to do. So he was on a gas turbine ship, and that ship was easy for him. He was a fucking genius.
Yeah.
His back, the problem with Turbo was his back was so fucked up.
Yeah.
And you can't hold that against anybody, but he would be like paralyzed by back spasms, and it was horrible. We loved the dude, but he was just incapacitated when his disc would slip, you know? It was really rough for him.
Oh, I loved him as a chief because he's the one that taught me all about the waste heat boilers, taught me how to fucking manual truck drive when we had to, everything.
Yeah.
You know, and he made me fucking, he said 3 gin and 3 waste heat boiler is your fucking baby. Clean it the fuck up. I said, okay.
Yes. He gave me that one time. I can't remember the exact statement, but I got in a statement with him. I got in a conversation with him one time, like, hey, what about me? And he said, you know what? Here's what you need to do. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but he did not hold up. He did not hold words. He did not. It was like a 1 second conversation. And I don't remember his exact words, but I'll never forget it. As far as the gist, I'll never forget it.
But he did not like fucking Aldretti.
Yeah.
He did not like it.
He didn't? Really?
No, he hated that much.
Well, why not? Why not?
Let's see.
Aldretti seems like a decent guy, you know?
Oh, I loved Aldretti because me and him, we came to the fight at the same time. You know, it was about a week apart, right? And we got stuck in number 2 engine room together. But the whole time, Aldretti would bitch, fuck the Navy. I hate this fucking place. Fuck the Navy. Didn't want to work. And Turbo hated that shit.
Oh, yeah.
He hated that. And Aldretti got pissed off with Boswell and Stafford and Chief Turbo was taking me, you know, teaching me how to do shit over him.
Well, Boswell was hardcore, man. You know,
I love Boswell. I loved him.
He might have been the most talented. He might not have been the most talented guy, but he was definitely dedicated. I would definitely go to war with that dude any day, you know.
But if you want to learn, Boswell would teach you anything that he knew. He would teach.
I'd go to war with Aldretti. I'll go to war with you. I mean, I'll go, Nick.
Oh, yeah. I loved Aldretti. I loved him because.
But here's the thing. a guy like Turmo might be on a guy's shit all year to try to shape him to get ready for the evaluation he's going to write for him to get him promoted to chief or fucking warrant officer order. You know what I mean? Well, you don't know how asshole leaders are trying to shape guys' careers to get them to see if they can survive and go where you want them to go to and if you're good at what you do, they survive that and get through it. And then you could tell the captain, hey, the captain, those guys the COs were good on this ship. I mean, we got rid of that Carpenter guy, got out of Japan, got to the next guy, and he was a cool dude, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, I like Carpenter. I had no problems with him at all.
Carpenter was 7th Fleet. And, I can't really describe it. I can't really say how that goes. He was 7th Fleet, but if as a chief, I would always worry about him judging me as a non-7th Fleet guy or whatever that flavor was.
Yeah,
or you're willing to. Now you heard about Fat fucking Albert and all that other shit. All those conspiracies, all the supply things, all those fucking guys going to prison for illegal activities and all this sort of stuff. Fat. What's that? Fat. What's his name? All these fucking dudes that went to prison for the supply stuff, right? So in Japan, and so Japan had a special fleet to itself where, you know what I mean. So Fat. What's his name? What's that name? I can't remember.
But if you fucking if you was in 7th Fleet, right? Carpenter loved you. I can't. Right. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Rice cooker's going. Yeah, you got the fucking lobster fucking lines over the side of the ship in port while you're sitting there, and that's good for him. And it's great, but Carl probably was just doing what he needed to do for his career at that time. And 7th Fleet was very positive and pushing forth and so on. I haven't tracked him after that.
But he was one of the only captains.
The next CO I did track, and he wound up retiring and running for governor. Running for mayor and so on, getting into politics and stuff. Good guy, Yeah. So, but yeah, it's kind of crazy how that stuff goes, and it's the end of all of that. So, who knows who the fuck makes admiral? I don't know, but
hell, the old DCA we had, fucking god damn it, I got him on Facebook. He made captain. He's getting ready to retire.
Which one?
He was the old DCA fucking Montana boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Stewart.
Well, my understanding is
Joe Stewart.
Look, Jason, if you think about it, it's enlisted against officers. If a guy starts off as enlisted, you know how it works. But if a guy starts off as an officer, my understanding is, I hate to say it, but it's just not that hard to make captain.
No.
You just got to get through the da-da-da-da. You got to do this.
But we all know the best,
but when I was a
officers.
Kid, I really said, the captain is the most amazing thing in the world. But, I mean, there's quite a few folks that you might be surprised from your past that did wind up making captain and retiring as captain because
but the best fucking officers, I still, to this day, were prior enlisted. Those are the best ones I ever served.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I agree. And they had to retire because I'll tell you why. Because LDOs can't make admin. They just cannot. LDOs, limited duty officers, which are usually enlisted guys that got commissions at some point and kept moving on, cannot make admin. Yep. So that's how it goes. Mike Borda, the CNO that shot himself to death in the parking lot at the Pentagon, Mike Borda was an E5 YN yeoman, and he went through a different program. He was not an LDO. He went through something 21, blah blah. whatever, got commissioned.
Seaman to Admiral.
Yeah,
Stay 21.
Seaman or Admiral, and winds up making me a CNO and wind up fucking blasting himself in the parking lot. Motherfucker, I was pissed about that.
Now, do they still got that fucking program? Because I remember when I came in, they had that program.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't know
what
if
does that
Stay
produce?
21's
Mike
still in
Borders.
or not. I think
no.
it was, but I think they got rid of it a while
I
back,
don't
just a while back.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying that probably produces a bunch of Mike Borders. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, but right now,
nuke all that stuff, man. Nuke all
yeah,
that
but
stuff.
Navy can't get good people right now because they use that fucking drag queen bullshit as fucking trying to promote the Navy. I'm like, what the fuck?
All I really believe about the Navy now, is you can be 30% fucking body fat and be fine. Yeah. I did the fucking whole 9 yards. So I had a list of shit I had to do to advance my career. So, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm telling you right now, I'm an alcoholic. So I got to the Fife, and they had an opportunity for the whatever the guy is that is the alcohol counselor. What the fuck was it? What's it called? I can't remember. But anyway, a guy named Steve Premer had this job. Steve Premer. So Steve Premer had the job. He was a GS missile guy, GSM, right? So Steve Premer, I love that guy to death. I cannot find him anywhere, but he's a great dude. And he had the job of the non-alcoholic guy, the counselor guy, like you just said.
Cat counselor. That's what it is.
Yeah, the cat.
No, they're GAPAs.
That's right.
Cappas,
so I said, I'll take the cat.
I should know that because I've been through that program. So I should know.
Cat came available. I'm trying to advance my career, so I'll take the cat. So I was out the fucking. We're out at the Anchor Tavern, right? So we're out at the Anchor Tavern drinking beer, and a couple of guys were saying to me, "Hey, man, it's so cool that we have a guy that's cool now. It's going to be the CAC rather than Steve Premer, Chief Premer. This GMC. So you're the drinking CAC now, huh?" I'm like, yeah, whatever, And I actually did wind up going to a couple of captain's mass with guys that were busted for drinking that I had to vouch for, that were good guys, and the cap and Huber, Chief Huber, Captain Huber, let him go, including one of the chiefs. So that was pretty interesting job.
I never got on the West Coast. I never went to mass, right? Especially for drinking. But when I went to the East Coast, oh boy, that's where I got from.
Well, what was your thing on the East Coast? I have no idea what you do over there.
When I fucked up going from West Coast to East Coast, right?
Right.
Once I left the Fife at 01, I went back to C school. And then after C school, I went to LeBoot.
Oh, this is early on, boot camp, motherfucker.
And they fucking hated West Coast sailors. I had a sailor chief who fucking hated us.
Yeah.
He's like, all y'all do is fucking drink. I see, we also work too, motherfucker. But when time's off, we drink and we go hoard around. That's what the fuck we do. But long story short, I ended up hitting the XO off the Denver, didn't know because that motherfucker pushed me from behind, and he was in close, so I knocked the hell out of him.
Crazy. That is insanity. That is insanity. Crazy.
Yeah, West Coast, I should have been on mass. I don't know how many times on West Coast.
West Coast, supposedly it was chill.
But we took it. But the Chiefs and all that, if you did your job, you worked hard, people took care of you. They really did.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how. Because I could have, like in 2000, right before we left for fucking Persian Gulf, I was home on leave. My 21st birthday. I had to get DWI there, at that time. I never told anybody. I didn't tell the fucking Navy. And the judge in Randolph County here in Missouri, he fucking knew because he was a JAG lawyer. That's how he got his law degree. Was
really? Really? What a coincidence.
And he goes, Jason, he said,
that is amazing, man.
He said, I'm going to make sure that you don't have to be here because you're getting ready to go to appointment.
That's a lucky. If you think
He
about it,
said,
that's a lucky.
because if I have you come back, he said, you're gonna get fucking hammered again, guaranteed. He said, you're gonna get hammered with me. He said, you're gonna get hammered with fucking Davey. I said, okay. You know, I mean, I ended up being found guilty of it, right? Big deal, right? But at least Davey never found out. So that's what I said. Well, it was fucking you wasn't the fucking counselor at that time. It was fucking fuck. He was the fucking the NC guy. Fuck. He was NCC. Fuck's his name.
Yeah, NCs, man. They're NCs are the best, man.
But he fucking, I told him, I said, well, I got a
dudes
problem.
knew their shit.
I said, I got a drinking problem. I need to go to fucking cat,
Yep.
right? I got to name go to Bremerton, right?
Yeah.
Somebody sent me, right? Then, fuck, I never got my license back going through that class. Well, I failed out that one. You know, I got kicked out of that one anyway. So I got kicked out of the one in fucking. I got kicked out of the one in fucking Chicago because they made me go back through it after my C school. Then I got kicked out of. I made it through the one in Virginia. But then when I sent everything back to state Missouri, right? State Missouri's like, well, we can't accept this. I said, what the fuck you mean you can't accept this?
Hey, at this point, the FBI should have picked you up at this point, Buffer. That's some fucking expensive shit, man. That's some expensive shit. What the fuck?
So Missouri didn't want to take it. Told me they would, right?
How much am I going to get paid to call up about you right now while we're on the fucking wait. So
nothing because they're out of money.
Yeah.
They're looking for memas and shit from January 6th.
I haven't even got into the fact of fucking all the weed we fucking smoked in the Navy too.
Wheat. The wheat.
You know, what's funny? You know, growing up, right? The only thing I did illegally was fucking drink beer, right? Drink alcohol, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But
proclaimed
when I got to the fight, especially when we got to Washington, came back from fucking Japan to Everett, Washington, right?
Yeah.
First time I ever smoked weed was with fucking GSM-3 fucking Ferguson and GSM-3 Franklin, at their apartment watching the Tyson fight, right?
Okay. Which Tyson fight? Which one?
This is this would have been like 98.
Against?
Fuck, I can't remember.
Well,
I've been Holyfield.
It's important because
I've been the first ones at Holyfield. Might have been. But
you were on active duty.
They gave me this fucking joint. I said, "Fuck is this?" I hadn't seen a joint actually.
So a Tyson fight, that's
fucking, and I started hitting that bitch. I was hoping.
No, I hear you, man. I'm not gonna. I'll talk about my offenses on the next 2 episodes. Okay.
Shit,
I'll do that. All right. Yep. But not now. But that's interesting.
Oh yeah, old Dreddy. That motherfucker retired as Senior Chief too, but he went MA to do it. Because we was talking about Aldretti earlier.
Aldretti? The fuck did
remember
he
how
do
I told him Aldretti did that Chief? What
did he do to himself? What does he do to himself? Have you tracked him? Can you hate him?
Oh yeah, he's in North Carolina. He's in North Carolina. Owns his own taco truck.
What is he doing?
Him and his wife.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back.
Well, that's what he's doing.
Get all this stuff. Hey, I'm just gonna hang out to the fucking bitter end, but our triad is back in place because Triad dude has sorted everything out, man. How did you get this most fucked up, incredibly patriotic background?
About my background?
Crazy 4th of July motherfucker.
I like bats. I like bats and bats right there. Fuck. Come on,
Jesus fucking Christ. Does that say Bud Light on your hat?
Natural light. Natural light.
Oh,
see, we'll both do the real life.
I'm just fucking with you.
But everyone thinks Bud Light was Anheuser-Busch's first fucking light beer. Bullshit. Natural Light, 1977, motherfuckers.
Yes.
Natural Light was the first one, but it was cheap. It's still cheap. To me,
it's still going for $19.99 for a 30 rack.
$17 here for a 30 rack, brother.
You guys are fucking crazy. You fucking crazy motherfuckers.
Oh hell, you think I got
literally?
Hey, look at this one too.
Well, Jason, I'll tell you this, Mitch.
I'll be a top hat,
Uh,
bitch.
I'm in heaven, man. I'm in heaven that you invited me here.
Well,
It's
yeah.
fucking fabulous. I
Well, the way
really,
I look at it, see,
you've
me and
been
Matt, we
planning this
talked
shit
about
for
this.
months and months and months, and
See,
I'm just so glad to be the first guest on here and on your team. And
see, look,
it's
see, me
just
and
great.
Matt, we've been talking about this because our talks sometimes would go fucking 5 hours. We're
5.
like,
The
you know
last
what?
one was like 7.
Yeah. We're like, no, we need to fucking do a fucking podcast or something, right?
Oh,
I said, yeah.
that's
I said,
fine.
hey, hell, we get
Let me find some shit to legitimize myself here.
that stuff.
I got a thing I've been thinking about this for a while. So it's
Oh, hold on, hold on.
3:03
I'm
in
gonna
the
go get me a
afternoon.
hat. Hold on.
Getting hammered. Yeah, gonna get hammered. I'm gonna stagger myself to my own. Hey, Molly, what's going on, girl? My dead dog here is dying on the couch, but I have something to show you guys.
We got, remember, she's 13 years old. Come
So,
on,
what else? Where the fuck is it?
Zeus. You will not
Oh,
starve.
here it
You can wait, motherfucker.
is. Here it
All right,
is.
here.
It's
We'll
this
do
thing.
it.
Oh, my
We'll do it
black lab,
proper.
a back. Oh, there we go. It's like a more like an officer cap.
It is a warrant officer hat.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to get one of those. That was my whole thing was, hey, I'd like to have that gold bar, you know?
Yeah.
So let me try for this gold bar thing. And eventually I got it done. So that was cool.
Hey, guess who's
Okay.
beating? Patriots are fucking winning, bitches.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching the game right now.
14-7. Hot damn.
They're actually doing pretty good against the Bills.
I love this dog. She's fucking so excellent. Yeah, so there we are, guys. So I love you, dudes. And it's been great.
Earlier,
Finally,
Joe, you
it's
talked
been
about
months and months in the planning. I guess planning, you call it that.
well,
But I really appreciate that I got spoon fed basically how to get on here and get with you guys. This has been great.
Yeah, we still got to figure out the live though without that.
Yeah, which like right now I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. So what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you're gonna have like 0 followers. So whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you guys market that or place that or position that.
You can share it with different people too. That's how you get your followers. You can share it with different people. Like I can send it to you like I can send it to Matt. Matt can send it to Marcus. One of the guys we play video games with, that's retired Navy too. Although on the East Coast there, that Matt worked with.
Yeah.
They're being what was his last command or something with his last command.
Anytime, any place. I don't know how this works, but a lot of people do really well on these things, and get a lot of followers and whatnot. And
well, we just figured this would be good.
I hope this goes there.
We just figured this would be good for us. Give us something to do, right? Since we're all retired, say fuck it. No. We can just talk about anything. What we do, lose Joe? Like we did.
And he's been going in and out. I don't know.
He's on a cell phone, so
yeah. I mean, he may have clicked out by accident.
Probably did. I mean, but he doesn't know we've been playing that me and you've been playing the cookbook anyways with Marcus. I was getting ready to tell him that.
Oh yeah. Well, earlier when he was saying it was just like, we'll let it ramble.
Yep.
Let it ramble and let it go from there. So,
because this is what I like, that non-scripted bullshit, right? We just talk about whatever.
Right.
If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. Fuck them.
Well, and the key thing, like we talked about before, was like he was just saying, like it's for us, like whoever wants to come on here and tell stories, whatever, that's the whole fucking point. That was the whole point of YouTube, man. It was like people just fucking doing things and talk whatever they want to.
Just having a good time with like we're doing. I'm having a good time with it. I mean, so far. So
exactly. I'm just sitting here listening, watching football and going back and forth, like, and And he may be done. He'd be like, you know what? I'm out. And we may have missed it.
Could
Like,
be, could be. Though, like,
peace.
hey, screw it. You know. I mean, that's like anybody can jump on at any time, right?
Right.
You know,
Send
but
him an
I need to get
invite.
Hodges on here. You know,
Send an
that's
invite code and go to town.
yeah. I'm gonna send one to Hodges. I'm gonna tell him about it. Hey, we got it up and running, bitch. Come on, here's the invite, bitch.
Yeah, we just need to get the live, figure out the live,
Yeah.
why it's looping
But
the
this
way
will
it
work.
is.
This will work for right now because we can always upload this shit,
Right.
and actually should be able to upload to fucking Rumble too.
Yeah, as long as you have the file, you can upload this.
Yeah, and because I plan on reaching out to Andretti too, because since he's in Granite Falls, North Carolina,
Right.
and stuff. I don't know how far that away is from. I think that's what 4 hours or something like that.
I'm surprised you didn't take we're talking about, like you was talking about background. I'm surprised you didn't take your gateway image and upload it in there.
Oh, I need to do that.
Since you already have the file for it, I know you can,
My
I know you
gateway.
can find it.
Well, I could actually, since when I got it home, I took pictures of it. You know
Yeah.
that I could make that the background or the one they did for mock-up as my background.
Yeah.
It shows
Yeah,
the gold
exactly.
shellback shit.
Well, yeah, because if we were talking like, the men who sail below,
Yeah.
stuff like that, or just like, you know, old salty sailor talk, you always got that too. So
Oh yeah. That's one thing that we got to work on is trying to figure out the fucking like the what so that way people know who it is. It
right.
didn't say Gilly's Zoom workplace Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Which I'll work on that shit. I'll talk to my brother in Colorado
Can't
on that shit.
I mean, I know when you go to upload it, you should be able to rename the file,
Yeah.
and then you should be able to, I don't know for sure, like I'd have to look at it too, but I know that when you title it, you can title it whatever you want.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can take a thumbnail, a screenshot, and then you can add it in. But I don't know all the editing either.
Yeah.
So
Which I'm not gonna even edit this bullshit. I ain't gonna worry
now
about it.
why?
Say it how it is. Fuck it. To
Who
me,
knows how long the file's gonna be?
yeah. But I mean, because right now we're at 2 hours and 18 minutes right now. But to me, some of the best people I've listened to, right? Whether it be on YouTube or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can tell their shit's fucking not edited. You know,
Right.
but you can also tell the ones that are edited too.
Yeah, you can tell when it clips, when they try to catch back on to what they're saying from
And
what
you
they've
can
written.
and you can tell which ones are fucking scripted and which ones ain't. I don't
Exactly.
care for the scripted ones at all.
No. And that's what I was saying is like not scripted, but uh an short outline agenda. Like,
Yeah.
We'll talk about, current politics, or some headline news like
But
you
this
were doing,
is,
like how do you feel about it? Like what's your take on it? The same way we're doing throughout.
and that's one thing we'll get better at too. The more we
Oh
do
yeah.
this too. Because I remember seeing one of Joe Rogan's first ones he ever did. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, he wasn't no better than us at this shit.
Oh
You
no.
know, and he didn't care either. He's like, fuck,
No.
I don't care.
It's like the guys that, start gamer streams and stuff. No, but anybody that starts streams
Yeah.
doesn't know anything about it. You can read everything you want, and until you get in there and do it and actually like, oh, this doesn't work. Oh, this works. Oh, yeah, no. And then you move on from there, take notes of it, move on.
Oh yeah. Now I saw when you posted that shit. Former President Trump speaks at the Libertarian Party convention, right?
Yeah, I was in the middle of everything,
Yeah.
and I didn't know if you told, Mike about it, but that was the actual article of him
Yeah.
talking to the convention. It was in DC. I
Yeah.
thought it was somewhere else, but it was actually in DC.
But he also talked to liberals in Wisconsin too. He did
Yeah.
do that.
So it's like the actual Libertarian Party.
Yeah. That stuff, but no, I know. Now, how do you feel about RFK being a part of HHS?
I think he's got a good shot at it because he's been a staunch advocate against, vaccines, the mRNA, pushing the chemicals
Yep.
and the foods. And that's got legitimacy because European countries won't even take some of our food because of the chemicals in there.
Because they have to remake it. They'll take our food, but they have to be remade.
Yeah, they won't. And then they've already banned
Yeah.
the chemicals we're still using in foods.
Because
And I have to,
oh, sorry.
I was to say, I have to agree because food is so much more expensive because there's additives in it.
Yeah.
If you get all natural, like you go get a pound of potatoes, it's like $1, what, 49 for russet potatoes.
Yeah, something like depends on where you're at. You know,
You buy 10 pounds worth of potatoes. You know how many mashed potatoes and meals you can make out of 10 pounds of potatoes? Like,
fucking lot.
there's all kinds of things you can do it. Butter, you get natural butter is what I pay like $4 for like 2 sticks right now, but that's the Kerrygold.
Yep.
But you don't have to use as much of it. You can stretch it out. If you use actual real butter, you don't have to use a lot.
Yep.
You don't have to get the tub of the margarine shit. It's all chemicals.
And that's one thing I like about, since I have to go plant based on the butter because of my alpha gal, right? That plant based butter with the either with olive oil or avocado oil, right?
Yeah.
It stretches out. You don't have to use as much.
Yeah,
with
no.
it. And I kind of like that. But I wish to God I could still eat the real shit, right? The real butter. Because nothing's gonna take place of the real butter. That taste, everything.
Yeah, well, I mean the churn on it, and it's just you're right. I mean, no matter what, you can come close, but it doesn't melt the same way. It doesn't, cook. It just doesn't. And that's the way that it is.
Because that, like the margarine, that shit that people want to buy now, right?
Yeah.
It browns so much faster than real shit does.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I did find out about the plant-based shit, right? It didn't brown as fast as the margarine and all that bullshit, right?
Right.
Because what I've seen in it, I've researched, I could be wrong, don't get me wrong. But there ain't no plastics in it like there is margarine.
Yeah.
You know,
because margarine is very similar to the way that like American cheese is made.
it's got plastic in it.
Yeah, it's got the plant. But the thing about American cheese, it melts like probably got the best melt for a cheeseburger or hot ham and cheese sandwiches, which is fun.
Yeah, I mean versus like shit you buy in Italy, right?
Yeah.
But I like RFK, because I mean I'm not on board with like a lot of his global shit, like how he thinks like environmental wise, some things, right? Like coal power plants, right? Since I worked at one, right?
Yeah.
I know how clean those bitches can be. But he's spot on with the food. He really is.
Yeah, and that's why he's like HSS. You know what I mean? Like he's not making policy on gun rights where he's, staunch advocate of that. But the biggest thing is he's been so demonized by the vaccine stuff that he switched parties.
Yep.
And is showing that, like we were saying, you can actually work together.
Yeah.
We have more things we want to work on between conservatives and liberals and things like that. I mean, if you're a true conservative, you're a true liberal.
Yeah.
You want the best for yourself.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Get government out, gone, and everybody do what they want for themselves. I mean, that's the whole premise of it. If anything, if I remember right, liberals are more staunch on 2A than anybody.
Yep.
Because it's all about protecting your own land and such.
And that's where the real conservatives and real liberals, they have common ground on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
it's like, get everybody out of my land and out of my pockets.
Yeah. Let us dictate our own fucking future. I mean, yeah, right. You got to have some form of federal government, right? Don't get me wrong, right? For military and all that shit, right?
Right. as
but
a
it doesn't have to be
constitution
as
states.
big as what it is now.
Right.
But getting back on the food thing, I remember this was in fucking 2002, being in fucking Europe. France, Italy, and all that shit, Greece.
Right.
Yeah, you can buy Fruit Loops over there, and they tasted so much better than ours. And I was shocked. Oreos did too. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Yeah, even like potato chips, man.
Yeah.
Potato chips, sodas, like you remember when we get the Haji Dews.
Yep.
I mean, they taste so much different.
Yeah.
All that food over there is just so much better. Like, look at white bread. Let's take white bread. You look at enriched flour. They strip everything out of it, and then they put stuff back in it. Why? You just mill up some flour.
And that's why
You don't need to do anything to it.
and that's why if my all-purpose flour, I
Yeah.
buy it from King Arthur's bakery now.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking not bleached at all.
Yep.
It has the same properties as what it's supposed to have in the first place.
Yep. And that's why it bakes up the way that it does. It's like
Yeah.
you don't need to do all those things with it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're gonna pay a little bit more for it, but fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah.
If it's better for you, that's what I'm using.
Well, and that's the key thing. Like if you go through and take the time to cook again and you go get natural, best you can, all natural ingredients and cook everything up, then it's a hell of a lot healthier for you.
And that's like when I could eat beef or pork, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't get it at Walmart or grocery stores. It either came from the butcher that I knew, or I went and bought one, steer from the local ranchers.
Right.
Had them take it to the butcher shop and let them butcher it. That way there's
Exactly.
no hormones injected into it. Plain and simple.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of that, I mean, did you see that, like, speaking of food and health, California now has just issued an state emergency for bird flu. And now they're talking that it's in cattle and chicken all the way up to the western seaboard. So they're like,
See, one thing about the bird flu, right? See, when I had my old place out in the country, right?
yeah,
I had chickens, and
Yeah.
never once did they ever get sick from shit.
no,
So when they say the bird flu, like that one person in the East Coast, right, got the bird flu, saying they had their old chickens, right? I ain't buying that bullshit. I'm
no,
not,
I don't buy it.
because
Somebody-
I know a lot of people here where I'm at, they have all kinds of chickens on their property.
Right?
Not one of them are fucking sick.
No,
I
no,
think so.
I don't buy a lot of the whole tainted. And if it is, then what the fuck is the FDA doing? And
Yeah.
that's part of RFK's job
Yep.
is to regulate the FDA, because the FDA was put in place because of the Chicago meat processing
Yes,
plants.
exactly.
I mean, you can go back and forth with all that. Well, if the FDA ain't doing their job, then why are we paying them?
Because when the FDA was first formed, they did their fucking job.
Yeah.
Because those slaughterhouses, they was not sanitary at all.
Yeah, no. But
You know?
Chicago was that crossroad for processing.
Yeah, because that's where the cattle went to.
Yep.
All
Over the country went to
those whole
Chicago.
Chicago stockyards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't give a fuck if the beef went rancid or not, but they were still selling it.
Yep.
And
that's what started that, and it worked.
Yeah,
But
but
now it's turned into
political
profit.
bullshit.
Yeah, because it's like, well, now you got prime, what grade, different grades now, and you're like,
Yep.
why isn't it all the same? Why am I buying a different grade at a higher price?
It's all about fucking who had the lobbyist, who has the most money to get in
Oh
the
yeah,
FDA's
they
pockets.
lobbied. The meat guys lobbied them.
And that's why, people like, remember, what's his name that did the big rib, not the big rib, but the big size shit, right? Super Size Me.
Oh yeah.
He did one on chicken, right?
Morgan Spurlock.
Remember how you just watched that one? He talking about the big chicken people, right?
Yeah, it was the second one he did.
Yeah.
Talking about
Isaac,
how
all those
chicken
guys?
tenders and all that stuff.
Yeah, they're the ones that run the whole fucking industry on the chicken.
Yeah.
You know, and those guys that fucking farm them for them, raise them, they don't get paid shit.
Hmm.
And they're not fucking free range chickens just because all they got to have is access to a little bit of sunlight. That's not true free range, people.
No.
You know, I never buy anything that says free range, all that bullshit on it from the store.
No.
It's
That's
not free range.
that's the whole, remember the old joke George Carlin used to make about words, advertisement and words? It'd be like organic. Well, everything's organic and you're getting
Yeah,
it from the ground, like,
yeah.
all the buzzwords and stuff he went over, which is all true. It's like free range, organic, all of these other ones. It's like
But
it's
all
all
those
bullshit to sell it higher.
but all those fucking tree huggers, they buy into that bullshit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, so now, yeah, they're gonna jack the price up on the shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a market.
You know, that's like I had one guy email or not email, he got me a hold of Messenger, Facebook Messenger, right? That somebody got that he knows just got diagnosed with alpha-gal, and that guy's beside himself. Because I showed him where sent the link where I get my emu and ostrich at for a red medium tank, right?
Right.
He goes, well, he said that's good, but the guy don't have a lot of money. I said, okay. I said that he's gonna have to just deal with chicken and turkey, ground chicken, turkey, all shit.
Right.
I said because that shit, the emu and ostrich is $11 a pound. Shit ain't cheap. But
Well,
I said here's my cookbooks. I said there's a lot of ground chicken recipes in those cookbooks too. You know, chicken and
can't
turkey.
you do seafood too?
Yeah, and he can do seafood, but seafood is getting expensive too now.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, but where I get my shrimp from, right? I get mine down from Louisiana. You know, whether it's the Royal Reds or the Gold Shrimp, right?
right.
Because I want my shit fucking. I mean, the Royal Reds come frozen, which is fine. They're still good. But if I get Gold Shrimp, I go to Columbia to the seafood market, and I get them from there, and
Yeah.
they're never frozen. But
Yeah, not the
that
Gulf
shit ain't
shrimp.
cheap either. But yeah, in Walmart you can get seafood, you know. But if you
Well,
want crab, the fake shit's the way to go. I told myself the fake shit on the crab. If you like crab, is the way to go.
yeah.
You know.
And that's hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab something really quick.
All right. I got grabbed out of beer anyway, so be right back, people. Ah, damn, the builder would have now. Son of a bitch. Yep.
So when you were talking about prices of everything, especially Gulf shrimp and seafood, um, people were arguing the price of food.
Yep.
And it's like, well, if you reduce energy costs, then you reduce the price of food. Because
Yep.
they're like, oh, Trump ain't gonna no. As soon as you start reducing energy costs,
Yep.
you reduce the price of food.
Yep.
It's not the groceries gouging. It's not anybody doing that for their profit margins. It's the energy sector that's causing the problem.
Yep. Because the energy runs everything. You
Yeah.
gotta have the energy to fucking produce the food. All that
Yeah.
shit.
And that's where he was like, going energy independent will lower the cost of everything immediately. That will be where your
Exactly.
reduction is.
Exactly. You know,
It's not you can't reduce inflation where it's at now because of what has already been spent, but you can reduce cost by reducing energy.
Go
That's
ahead.
what people aren't, that's what they're not telling everybody.
Yep.
They're lying about how they're talking about inflation.
Yeah. Because I mean, at the power plant I worked at after the military, I knew exactly what it cost per fucking megawatt.
Yeah, exactly.
And how clean it is on coal.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, when we had to put SCRs in, right, when the federal government made us put SCRs in, kind of like scrubbers in a way.
Right.
Using ammonia, put ammonia into the fucking, all that bullshit, right?
And the stacks for the exhaust, yeah.
Well, we could get that shit lower than the fucking federal government wanted to, but we didn't, because as soon as we did that, then they're like, okay, you can be down to zero fucking carbon on this bullshit.
Right.
So we just left it right at their limits, what they consider clean. I mean, it could go lower than that.
Yeah.
That's what people realize.
It's the Green New Deal scam that's been, I don't know, how many years now? 50, 60 years?
Yeah.
Acid rain here, polar ice caps melting here.
And ice, and the
I don't
caps
know.
are still there.
Yeah, I mean, which one do you want to pick this year?
I mean, the ice caps eventually going to melt, yeah, but not in our lifetime. They ain't going to.
Well, I mean, they're going to melt, but they're going to refreeze somewhere else.
I mean, eventually this Earth is going back to where it was, all lush green shit at one time.
Yeah,
like it was.
Well, and that's where change and shift is where they play with words, because it's technically a shift, not a change.
Yeah,
climate's always gonna shift, because we're, like we talked about, we're here, and flat earthers, we'll go back to the beginning, is we're tilting on an axis that rotates on its own axis. So, I mean, do a little bit of science and you'll be all right.
Oh yeah. Which I know why those flat earthers, right? They think the Earth is flat, right? Because they think the moon landing was fake, right?
Yeah.
Well, in a way, I kind of think the moon landing was fake too. If they say we don't have the technology to get back there, right?
Yeah.
Because what was that fucking that radiation zone, right?
Yeah, the Van Allen belt.
They say we can't get through that, right? Okay, how do we get through it back in the 60s?
Exactly. Yeah, they're talking about the radiation shielding. Yeah. But
if we had that technology, where did it go?
There's an alternative. There's an alternative story to that they hold that the moon and Earth are in what's called a low Earth, or I wish Mike was here because he knows about space.
Yeah.
Is that the Earth and moon are in what's called a low Earth orbit. So they're like together, protected in its own bubble.
Yeah.
So really you can't get past that bubble that's between the two. That's one of the theories, that we can travel without getting to the radiation.
Yep.
But if we go past the moon,
yep,
then there's no way to get past the radiation from the Van Allen belts and the sun and everything else. Hence why we've only sent unmanned stuff towards Mars.
Yep.
It's like even Elon Musk is talking about, like we were talking about SpaceX, they're doing the remote Neuralink for robots. If they put all those on a spacecraft, they ain't got to worry about anything. You can shield all the robots easily.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, you take that theory and it's kind of, that one will make more sense than anything else to make it to the moon. Now, if you want to play with the old Game Boy Advance theory, you can play with that one, that the Game Boy had more technology than the moon landing. So, or at least microprocessing. So.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that's always the fun one. So, I mean, so if you like energy, like NASA, all that stuff, and climate change, like it's all garbage.
Yeah,
it's always been about money.
Yeah. And Al Gore has made billions off that shit,
and they're still making billions off of it.
And I'm like, I get a kick at all these people, right, that vote for it. That one, I'm like, it's fucking tax dollars going to that shit, people. It's your money going to that shit. I said nothing's getting done.
I mean, the people that are working.
But look at just like the all those fucking EV stations, right? What was it? $500 million they were supposed to spend?
$8 billion in
$8 billion.
stations.
And they built what, 2 of the motherfuckers?
6.
6? Come on now. That's why I like Elon and Vic as Dodge, right?
Yeah.
Because we know for a fact that the government wastes a lot of money on fucking, just like the parts we had to buy, right?
Yep.
We talked about this earlier. You know, those fucking gaskets, fucking nuts and bolts we had to buy, tools, they fucking upcharge the fuck out of the government for that. Same shit we could go to fucking Home Depot and buy, pretty much.
Yep. Yeah, and that's been brought up on the oversight boards.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it might have been Josh Hawley or somebody that brought up parts that we were buying. You know, I think one of the guys held up a bag and he's like, for the Air Force, you know, this bag of like washers is like 30 grand. And like just roasted the Air Force.
Well, remember how you said you had to go get gaskets when you was working on the LCACs, right?
Yeah.
You know, you had to go to the Army to get them because the
Yeah, and I
tanks
got them for way cheaper.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? I mean,
I know.
that's where they need to cut out the fat right there.
Yeah,
You know,
the defense budget could be reduced, but be completely effective if they cut those things out.
Yeah.
Everybody said the way to make money is get government contracts.
Yeah.
Especially DOD.
Yep. Because they don't give a fuck. They're going to spend whatever.
No, that's where people talk about reducing the budget, but you would have to do it correctly. Shift the money around and stop paying exuberant amounts for parts and stuff.
And I didn't realize all this shit until I became work service supervisor, right? When I had to buy order the parts, right, for shit. And I seen how much a fucking hammer cost, pipe wrench. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We could go to fucking Harbor Freight, Sears at that time, and buy it a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yep.
You know, just like the Snap-on toolboxes we had to have for the generators and the turbines. Remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, they spent fucking that little bitty box for each engine room. They spent, what was it? If I remember correctly, over $30,000 for one little box.
Yeah.
That one little box, if I wouldn't buy a Snap-on, was 10 grand.
And you know that's written into an instruction too, that you will only use Blackhawk, Mac, and Snap-on at the time.
Yep.
I don't even think they've added any other tool manufacturers to that actual instruction for aviation, like any gas turbine engines.
Yep.
It's like those 3 companies are the only ones you can order from. And the reason why that is so one company doesn't have a monopoly. Yep. So you offer up 3, and then it keeps the contract. So,
but those 3 still overcharge the military.
Oh yeah, they know because they're in it. They're written into an instruction.
And
it's a guaranteed payday.
See, that's one of the things we got hit on. That's why we had to buy through the, inspections we had to go through.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but we had proven that this fucking Husky, fucking Craftsman, Harbor Freight tools work just as good as the rest of them on the turbines.
See, and I was working the Armstrong tool contract at ACU4, but I had to sit down with their engineers because their metal was too soft on some of their wrenches. So I had to sit down with their engineers and be like, look, your stuff's too soft. It's not cracking, but it's opening. So, and they went back through and retooled because their stuff wasn't correct.
I know I broke a lot of Craftsman, but the one tool I did not break that was not Snap-on right was Husky.
Husky does pretty good. It's all about the outer layer cracking is what they claim for it being fog. That chromium like dip on them.
That plating, yeah. But I never had that plating crack on the Craftsman. I mean, I actually had sockets fucking break.
Yeah.
You know, mainly because we just had to use torque wrenches on some things or fucking cheater bars on some shit.
Well, I mean, they make bars for that, breaker bars. So
yeah. Well,
when you put a pipe over the end of it, it'll do that.
Well, sometimes, because we didn't have the money, it depends on who was in office, what president we had or Congress we had. Hell, we didn't
Yeah.
have enough money for fucking air tools that we should have had.
Right.
That would have made the job a lot easier. Air tools would have.
Oh yeah. Well, but you also got to be properly trained in air tools because I've seen more than enough guys just start running them down and be cross-threaded, and they don't realize they're cross-threaded it till they're already way through it.
Hell, I see people cross thread shit just fucking using regular hand
I
tools too.
know a regular one.
And those are the motherfuckers
Yes.
that don't need to be an engineer. Plain and simple.
Yeah, those are the guys that are running like the barn doors are the worst
Yeah. Shit.
because none of them line up right.
Just think when we had to move the fucking shaft, remember the fucking shipyard?
And Everett, yeah,
Just think if we would have had we could have used a fucking impact instead of that big old fucking bar, move that motherfucker.
Yeah.
How fast that motherfucker we could have got it done instead of all fucking night.
yeah, all of us turning it, especially when there was backlash on it and Garcia let loose of it, it smacked him
Yep.
in the head.
And Murillo, fucking GSE, remember GSE Murillo, little skinny, scrawny fucker, he was
Yeah.
wore out by the end of the night. I mean, he
It
was
was a long,
smaller,
that was a long night.
but we had a lot of caffeine too.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the only times I ever smoked we ever smoked down the engine room that I can remember.
Oh, I know, because we had to keep going.
We're like, fuck this. We're gonna have our fucking dictate too.
Well, and we didn't have any watch that night either. We just had to stay working on that.
No, because they told us you ain't have no watch.
Oh.
Your job is to fucking get this fucking shaft turn rotated for the blades.
Yeah. Put
They
that blade,
put
put those
they
blades
put the
on.
blades on the next morning.
Right.
Just stuff.
But yeah, I mean, like, and that's the thing about the spending. And like we were talking about the bill earlier, it's like single line items, they've been arguing for, the Republicans have been arguing for single line item budget. Instead of passing these omnibus bills last minute, 1,500 pages, dude. That's a lot to read.
Nobody reads that.
On
That's why
where-
they put so much
yeah.
pork in it.
Yeah, that's why they do it. It's not new. They're like, oh, last minute we're gonna shut down. Oh no. And then they're like, they already have that bill ready. They're already ready to put that thing together and like send it at last minute. And they just got caught, the Democrats did, trying to smear the Republicans about the child cancer funding when it already had went up through the House, passed, and had been sitting on the Senate's desk with Chuck Schumer's sorry ass.
Yep.
So they just got caught smearing again, and they're not, and this is DC in a whole, it's not just the Democrats, but they keep holding these things together so they have some kind of gotcha to put out to the media, to the public, and be like, see, look, they're doing this and they're doing this and they're doing this, and like when this could have already been done or rejected and redone.
Yeah. And it depends on what news you watch, right? You can watch Fox, CNN, right? Because I'll watch them all.
Yeah.
And you just see the difference between all of them. That's why most people don't trust mainstream media nowadays, because they're not real journalists like they used to be.
No, they're propagandists.
It needs to go back to where, okay, just read the fucking news, okay? Just tell us what the news is, and let the people make their mind up.
Yeah. Well, they've figured out the algorithm for like everybody's attention span.
Yep.
Because everybody's so used to TikTok.
Yep.
So all you do is make a headline. All people will look at is the headline. They won't read the article.
Yep.
So they give you a quick propaganda piece by a headline. And then if you read the rest of it, then they actually put it out. That just happened with CNN for the 26 confidential informants. They put the headline and there was no FBI agents in the crowd. But if you read down through the story, it admits to 26 FBI CIs or confidential informants. So they're playing with words like what propaganda would do there was no actual FBI agents, but FBI assets were there. So,
And that's why they need to fucking outlaw propaganda again and just
Yeah.
get back to the fucking news.
yeah, well, they're getting paid too much money. That's what they're getting paid for.
Because that propaganda bullshit, that's what the communists always fucking did.
Yeah.
You know?
Propaganda been around for a long time.
Yep. Well, okay. Okay, the guy that fucking the supposedly guy, that alleged guy that shot that fucking CEO, right, from was it
Yeah.
United Healthcare, right? How in the hell did he get all the way to fucking Pittsburgh or not Pennsylvania and get caught with the fucking same gun and the same fucking backpack?
Mhm.
That's just odd, right there.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna see. They said it pretty good the other night on Timcast, and I can't remember his name. He was talking about how they were using race as the division, right? Well, after this election, you've seen how many black males shifted over parties, and everybody's kind of coming together.
Yep.
So now that you have this dude, they're starting the class war again. So you have this dude who was hurt,
Yep.
Supposedly hurt, denied claim, and then goes after a healthcare CEO.
Yep.
So now you start the class war, right? They're leaving that for Trump to take care of because Trump is of that higher class, right? He'd been the billionaire. Everybody's talked shit about it. So now you have that starting again. You have the class war starting. Everybody forgets that Obamacare was passed in what, 2012, I think? And that's what started all this problem.
So
So actually, it's your fault for doing socialized healthcare with Obamacare, and that's where we're at now because all those companies are subsidized by the government.
because I mean, I remember before Obamacare came in, that hardly anybody, if you paid for your insurance, right, they better have a good fucking reason to deny your claim.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, and the majority of the time it's paperwork, right?
Right.
That got denied. Hold on. Yeah, buddy, what? What do you need?
Can you please find me Terry's Christmas?
By what?
Please.
Okay. I might be able to. I don't know. It's getting close to Christmas, buddy. Okay. Okay.
What?
I'll try to get him here before Christmas. Okay. If not, it'll be after Christmas. Okay. All right, buddy. Bye. What? Santa Claus might be bringing you some. You just have to wait and see. Okay.
Okay.
All right, buddy. You have a good time. You have fun.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Karen's house.
Okay. Watching the Bills game.
Yeah.
I know the Bills are winning now. I was hoping the Patriots was gonna beat them, but looks like they ain't going.
Game ain't over yet.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Okay. I'll see you on Christmas Day. Okay. All right. Love you. All right. Bye. That boy quotes everything. I swear to God. But don't get mad when he's talking about.
Don't we all?
The fact
No.
is, until then, Obamacare, yeah, you're right, fucked everything up.
Yeah.
They
said it was going to, like, everybody went through it, like, oh, you'll be able to keep, private healthcare and all. No, they shut everybody down. It's what? United Healthcare, Blue Cross, Blue Anthem, Blue Shield, whatever. They're all combined. And then you go through all of that and you're like, okay, now everybody's like, claims are going up. They know that they're going to get subsidized.
Yep.
So then all the prices at the hospital go up.
And that's why they're making billions of dollars.
Yeah, and that's why I think if RFK comes in, should be looking at that along with Doge,
Yep.
you know, on healthcare because there shouldn't be, and Trump said it too, there's a lot of middlemen in there.
Yep.
And there was a pharmacist a while back that talked about the middleman. He's basically the middleman. He gets his product at like pennies on the dollar, right? He's not allowed to sell it at that price. He is mandated to sell it at the inflated price. He would actually go to jail because of the restrictions on it. So that's why you see like Good RX in them that try to find the deals.
Yep.
The deals are there, but the actual pharmacies aren't allowed to sell it at that price.
Yeah. But one thing I did find out, I tested this out. This is what I still have private health insurance, not just using the VA, right?
Right.
I went to him. I said, okay. I said, you know, I got insurance, but what's the cash price on this? Said if I didn't want to use my insurance, and the cash price was 10 times cheaper
Mm-hmm.
for the same fucking drug.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'd say, okay, say if it's blood pressure medicine or whatever, antibiotics, whatever it was, right? You know, if I, you know, it's a lot of times it was cheaper by fucking copay.
Yeah, and that's where it's at. It's that insurance
Yeah.
where insurance has to pay for it. They can't like undercut it. It's
Yep.
He was explaining like that, like it's cheaper, but insurance, like you're made to pay for that amount. It's like this weird setup for the insurance companies.
Yep.
And it's part of the government, you know, restrictions.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So if they're gonna do it, then that's that's the biggest thing, not only food, but it's gonna be medications.
Yep. And just look what happened to fucking, you know, Blue Cross Blue Shield anthem bullshit, right?
Yeah.
How they was trying to fucking say you only get this much if you got to be put under, right? You only allow so much time.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy got shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next day, they reversed that fucking action.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh, this is kind of funny here.
Well, and the thing about it is that I don't agree with the dude getting shot. The way
Oh, I don't either.
way it went down. But there's also another key piece in there too, is that he was about to testify on Capitol Hill, and there's a lot of stakeholders in the medical industry.
Oh,
We've seen that through COVID. We've
Yeah.
seen that through the transition. The trans agenda.
Yeah.
With the amount of money that they're looking for another cash cow. So if you go through and because they were talking about insurance covering those medications and those surgeries,
Yeah.
it's another guaranteed price for them. So you start adding these all together, and you wouldn't be surprised that they just psyop this dude and had it go down.
They didn't want him fucking testifying.
Yeah, they didn't want that CEO to testify because it went back. It's going back to the shareholders, the stakeholders themselves. And I know this for a fact because going through the fire industry, starting with the history, the goddamn insurance companies are the ones that influence all the change for safety because they're having to pay out too much. Like the insurance companies started this.
Yeah.
And there was buildings in Boston that would have symbols on them that they were insured and certified through the fire insurance company. So insurance been around for a long time.
Oh yeah.
They've just found different ways to use it.
I've always said fucking the insurance is the biggest scam of all.
Lawyers and insurance.
Yep.
Because the lawyers are the ones that defend it.
The lawyers are the ones that write the bills too.
Yep. They put it all into play.
Because you look how many people that's in Congress, right? Whether it's Senate, Congress, right? Look how many of them are fucking lawyers.
Or know of lawyers.
Yeah. I mean, like Josh Hawley, right? From Missouri. That motherfucker was he's a lawyer.
Yep.
You know, I do like him though, because he will ask the hard questions where a lot of them will not ask.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like Hawley, but they do it.
Well, and Gates was talking about that the other night at Turning Point. when they had that convention the other night. He was talking about the packs. You remember how we were talking about like everybody's packs and stuff?
Yep.
And by him and other people not taking any of the PAC money for their campaigns,
Yep.
a lot of other House of Reps are steering clear of it now.
Yep.
Because the PACs hold too much influence
Yep.
on them for their money. It's just like the lobbyists. It's the same thing. As soon as you get lobbying and PACs out of the way, dude, you'll actually have real legislation.
Yeah.
That's why they've been trying to get lobbyists out forever.
But because the money, they're not going to because the money. I mean, you got to have to do away with all the lobbyists. You're gonna have to tear down the fucking government completely and rebuild it.
Oh yeah, you have to take everybody out of it.
You know, because there's not one. There's not. I mean, there might be some congressmen and senators, right, that would write a bill to do away with them, right, altogether. But it's never gonna fucking pass because look how many of those motherfuckers are making money.
Oh yeah.
Just like the fucking stocks, right? That bill never went nowhere.
Man, they're trying to, I just seen an article on Joe Biden trying to get some insider trading done as a kickback to Nancy Pelosi.
He's ratting her ass out.
Trying to like, I know
Like,
he's not doing it, but they're using his name on it to.
well, you can't really blame the guy either if he is, because look how they did him, right? I'm no Biden fan. Don't get me wrong, right? I'm not.
No, I'm not either.
But the way they did him was fucking dirty as hell.
Well, and he'd been propped up for a long time.
Yeah.
And he should have been gone a long time ago, but they had a free ride with Ukraine with them and everything else, right?
Yep.
And then they go and remove him at the last minute for Kamala Harris. And then it just all went downhill.
And that should never happen because the people voted on him, for the party, right?
Yeah.
To be their run for president, their candidate. So once he stepped down, they could have had another special election before the fucking DNC convention.
Yeah.
They could have done that.
And that's where they lost RFK and Tulsi Gabbard and all of these staunch Democrats that had went up for a primary for president, for 2020.
Yep.
And they all got smoked down just like Bernie Sanders for Hillary, just like Joe Biden. And they did it again. And it's like, I'm not going to be part of this party anymore.
Yep.
I mean, they sued to get RFK off. And then when he decided he's going to get off a key swing state ballots, they sued to keep him on.
Yeah. I'm like, and that's why he left. He's like, fuck you motherfuckers. This ain't my dad's party or my uncle's party no more.
No.
It's not. And it has been for decades, actually.
Yeah, because that was one of the comments that was made, is that the Republicans are now shifted to the Democrat, like, non-warmongering, party. Because everybody always knew the Republicans is always getting money for the DOD. Like, oh, we got a Republican office, we got money coming. You know what I mean? All of that's completely shifted. So,
I mean, I remember when Bill Clinton was president when I first got into the Navy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't hardly get shit. I mean, we were bare bones budget.
Right.
And then Bush came along. That's when we start seeing the pay increases come along.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, because I remember being an E2 in Japan, Yokosuka, Japan, fucking my bring home pay every 2 weeks was $295. And that's with overseas fucking pay.
Right.
There. How are you supposed to? I mean, yeah, granted, we could aid on the ship, right? But who wants to stay on the ship the whole fucking time when you're employed?
Right.
Who doesn't want to go out and see the fucking countryside in the country that you're in?
Right.
And even the price of beer out in town at that time was fucking $7 in Japan.
Yeah.
So shit wasn't cheap, and the food wasn't cheap.
You should just end up getting like soju and stuff, man. Like, at that point. No, and that's what the key, like you've seen the like change in parties and government never happens overnight. So, but there are things that can change overnight that will fix it. At least put a band-aid on it. I mean, like you said, like you gotta tear the whole thing has to be tore down, and it's not gonna get tore down.
Now
It's
I
not
do
like
like. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say it's not like it's almost like anarchy where it's like you know, you have to get rid of all of that. And then you got the Democrats now that are asking for more government, which you guys that were supposed to be liberal are like getting rid of government. You're supposed to be anti-establishment. Now you're like, I want more government. Like, come on. Figure out like you're being like manipulated like crazy.
Well, that's like, the first thing I think Elon and Vic should look at, right,
Yeah.
is the fact that the IRS is fucking illegal.
Yeah, no, 100%. Ted Cruz has
They
been
are
trying to get
never
rid of
been
that for
confirmed
years.
by Congress like they should have been.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep, they're not. They've been on a resolution. I don't know what they're under, but somehow
But
they're under something.
they're using mob tactics. Is what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
yeah. That's been talked about forever now to get rid of them is because it's all mob. It's like you got to pay me money. If you don't pay me money, I send you to jail.
Yeah.
But then again, if you pay money, but you
Yeah.
do it wrong, I fine you and send you to jail. So it's like, what are you actually doing for your job?
Look what they did to Al Capone.
Yeah.
They used their mob tactics against him.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't get him on anything else. Okay, tax evasion.
Yep.
Actually, tax evasion is fucking illegal. I mean, not legal. I mean, it's actually should be legal because technically the taxes they can't collect from us are illegal.
Right.
You know, and
No, it was a circumvent of the Constitution.
Yeah.
I don't remember what article it is. I'd have to get back into it. But
and just like when they legalized weed, like I know what Colorado did, was one of the first states, right? Now Missouri has it, a lot of other states have it, right? I don't think was it 25 states that has it legalized
yeah.
for medical and recreational use, right? The federal government is still collecting taxes off that money, and they're not supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, and the problem with that is Colorado had a problem. They fell
Yes.
under the RICO Act. They couldn't deposit any money into the banks
Same way
because it
Missouri
wasn't
does, too.
because of FDIC. Yeah.
And that's why they started the growers out there, the people who was in that industry, right? Pretty much started their own fucking bank.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they had
they
a place
were-
to put all that cash.
Yep.
But
They were hiding it, and you're like, you're missing out on all this money. Do I agree with legalizing it for everything? At this point, no, because people can't handle it legalized, but it's the same thing as alcohol. So it's kind of like two-way street on that one. Like,
because I asked my brother about it because he'd been out in Colorado for over a decade, right?
right.
I said, "Are they collecting federal taxes off that?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "How is that?" He said, "They are." He said, "They still got it's considered income." Because I had a buddy I went to school with. He posted on Facebook about it, right?
Yeah.
Just legalize it, then you can collect that tax money. I said, they are collecting tax money. I said, here's the article stating that they can claim tax it.
Yeah.
He said, that's illegal. I said, no shit. I said, but people just figure it's cheaper to pay the fucking government the money versus trying to fight them.
Yeah.
I said, the only way that's ever going to change, before they legalize it, federal, is all the fucking dispensaries, people who's in the edge, are going to have to unite together and band their money together to sue the government for illegal fucking taxes.
Right.
I said, but they ain't going to because a lot of them don't want to spend that fucking money.
No.
Because that's all.
Because they know they're up against a juggernaut, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
believe it or not, the American government is one hell of a juggernaut machine.
Yeah.
And it's got backing from all over the world. We're not talking rich people. We're talking wealthy bloodlines.
Yep. The ones who actually truly run the world.
Yeah. Not I don't care about George Soros. George Soros is just a face. Soros isn't anybody.
He's just a puppet.
Yeah, he's not anybody. You're talking like Rothschilds and farther back than that.
The old money that comes from Europe and all that shit.
And we're talking like even farther back than that.
Yep.
You're talking like Jesus days.
Yep. And that's where a lot of people don't realize, they think Soros, that he's the backer. Yeah, he is a backer, but there's people above him.
Oh yeah, they're giving him the money.
Yeah. And that's where the Freemasons come into fucking play too, and all that bullshit too.
Yeah, Freemasons, Trilateral Commission,
Because
Bilderberg Group, G20s.
because back in the fucking a lot of governments, even the French government owned fucking the fucking Freemasons at the time. They was Templars.
Yeah.
Fucking billions of dollars for their fucking services.
Yeah, because the Templars were the one that set up the banking system.
Yeah.
They were the first banking system. They held money. You deposit money, and let's say the Bank of England, the Templars Bank of England. You go to France, take your writ with you, and you pull money out in France. And you could do it all over.
And that's why they said, "Do it. We're going to go persecute you all, every one of y'all."
Yeah, because King of France owed them a lot of money.
Yeah, and he wanted that money, and he figured that all the treasures they brought back for the Middle East, right? That they had. What?
Yeah.
And they probably did, but they kept moving it.
Yeah, because they were making the bank system.
Yeah. And that's one treasure I don't think will ever be found.
No, none of it will be. It's been dispersed over what, 1,000 years?
People know if it is still there, there's people that know where it's at. They ain't gonna say.
No, it's all split up into families.
Yep.
And the people, like I said, above George Soros.
Yeah. Because he the only reason he came to play, because we talked about this, he was selling out his own fucking people.
Yeah, he was selling out Jews.
Yeah.
He's just a player. Like he's not anything special.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody puts him in there, but it's like, dude, he doesn't do shit. He's just there to put money out, like it's in his name.
Yep. Well, now his son or grandson's doing it now.
I think his son is. What one of them? I don't.
Yeah, so it's a never-ending cycle on that one.
Yeah, I don't really care about. Yeah, Soros' name in there, the DAs. Like I said, he's just rubber stamping it.
But look at the fucking people who built this country. The Rockefellers, right? Fucking Vanderbilts, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think they don't have a fucking say in all this shit?
J.P. Morgan and Chase.
Yeah. That's why J.P. Morgan fucking hated fucking Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Fucking hated Teddy.
That's why Rockefeller hated him too.
Yeah.
Because they killed all the monopolies.
Yep. But they still got to fucking say it now with the lobbyist.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, Rockefeller does, because Rockefeller still owns a lot of gasoline rights.
Yeah.
Or I should say mineral rights.
You think they're going to fucking let that shit go? No.
Fuck no.
Because they was the first ones to fucking. Now, they probably weren't the first ones to find oil, but they was the first ones to bring it to fucking market.
And speaking of, I seen a great quote out of Landowner just the other night. Because last night I was watching shorts.
Yep.
And he's talking to that guy about his ranch.
Yep.
And he was like, "No, we lease your mineral rights. Yep. I don't give a fuck if you like me or not. I give you $200,000. I build your stock tanks for you. I maintain your roads. I do everything. So just sit there and shut up. Take your money and move on. Because your ranch would have been gone a long time ago if you wouldn't have sold your mineral rights." So that's the way it's been going forever. Yeah.
I like that show, actually. Have you watched the whole series yet?
No, I need to start watching it after that.
Dude,
it was like,
it's fucking good.
That's how it really goes down.
It's fucking good.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton does pretty good.
He plays that part perfectly right there. And they brought his ex-wife, his character's ex-wife into the fold now.
Oh yeah,
it's good.
That makes a great dynamic.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing. Like land and mineral rights is a big thing, and that's why China's going after Africa, because they can just take it from them. They have nothing established to not take it from them. That's why South Africa is the way that it is now.
Well, in China, they own a lot of farmland here in Missouri. You know,
Yeah, they're trying to stop that too. I know there was bills introduced for them to stop buying land in Indiana and
so
Missouri and
I know
other
Missouri
places.
has their own bill in place. I don't know if it got passed or not. I have to check on that.
Yeah.
But to stop any
Wasn't
foreign country from owning any land in this state, and that's what it
wasn't
should be.
Sarah Huckabee, I think she's doing Arkansas.
Yeah, she's in Arkansas. Yeah,
Yeah, Sarah Huckabee, as the governor was introducing it too. She was
yeah,
like the first one that put it up and passed it.
yeah.
That they were not allowed to buy any land
Yeah.
in Arkansas now.
Because if we go to China, right, as American citizens, we can't buy no fucking land there.
No.
Period. Even in Japan, I don't think Japan. If you're not a citizen there, you can't buy land there either.
No, I've seen that there's ways to do it though. There's people um there's Americans or whatever, any non-citizen Japanese. There's a process to buy land, but it's like you got to know all their laws.
Yeah, but you
You
probably
got
got
to
to
be
have
able to
some.
read, and you got to have like your own signet stamp
Yeah,
in order to sign, because they don't sign with a signature, they sign with a
yeah.
unique stamp. So
Yeah, I mean, if we can't own land over in those countries, right? Why the fuck should they own land over here? Like so,
exactly.
or we need to make it very fucking hard on them to own the fucking land.
Yeah.
If not, China's gonna buy up all the fucking land because they got the fucking money because they're not in debt like we are.
Yeah, they'll just take it from everybody else and buy it.
I'd hate to see how much fucking money we actually owe China. I'd hate to see that amount.
Last time I checked, it was like 33 trillion
Dead.
a while back. 32 trillion. It was a lot.
Bill.
It's a lot. It's a lot of money.
That's where I hope Musk and fucking Vic can just fucking streamline everything, just like Musk did fucking Twitter, right?
Nope.
All those federal workers that's working from home don't need to be working from fucking home. Plain simple. If you gotta work from home, find you a different fucking sector, a job.
Yeah.
Plain simple.
Yeah, move on.
Get your ass in
Move
that
on.
fucking office and work.
That's not that hard.
Yeah. But
No,
I think
and that's a lot of it because I just read that on Anthony Fauci. He got a job at one of the universities. He hasn't even taught a class yet. And when he retires, he gets like $350,000 in pension.
Zeus, knock it off. What the
And I'm
fuck?
like, seriously? $350,000 in pension, dude.
The motherfucker
I
don't
don't see him lasting long once Trump takes over.
Well, the motherfucker doesn't. He should just go away because the motherfucker makes millions of dollars off his fucking patent on SARS.
Yeah, something like he was worth like $11 million, and then he'll still get a pension.
Because
It's
he's
like
the
you
one
need to
that
start cutting these people's pensions.
because he's the fucking one that fucking got the patent for fucking SARS.
Yep. And that's the key thing with the senators too, because they've created career politicians
Yeah.
through pension.
Yeah.
So it's like you got lobbyists, then you get pension. They raised it like Dan Crenshaw's sorry ass. Like he
Yep.
needs to be stripped of ever being in the Navy or the military.
Yep.
He's a straight up disgrace. It like that should be gone. Like, oh, I need to make more money. No, you don't. You're a public servant. You should be doing this for the public, not to make money. That's where a career politician is. Do it for the people or get the fuck out.
They should only be paid per diem when they're in session. That's it.
Yeah.
Just like it
stay
was.
there.
Just like it was when this country was founded. They didn't get
Yeah.
paid all the time. They got paid for being.
Yeah, they got paid for being in DC.
Yeah, and that's it. Then you go back after session's over with. Then you go back to your other jobs, whether it be a lawyer or whatever, rancher, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
look at Daniel Boone.
everybody was a representative that already had a trade or a job.
I mean, look at Daniel Boone, right? One of the first congressmen for Tennessee. Probably not one of the first ones, but he was one of them. But he wasn't rich. He had he had farm, all that bullshit.
And that's what the argument is. Like, there should be no politician that's rich in the government.
Yep.
And Trump just gave up his salary again too.
Yep.
That would just came out, what was it, last week? He's like, I'm not taking the $400,000
Yep.
for the presidency.
Yeah, get back
Like
on
he did
credentials.
again. I think he's got to take $1.
Yep.
I think
You
he
know,
has to take $1 for monetary.
because I get back on Crenshaw, right? You know, anybody who claims to be a SEAL, right?
Yeah.
Because we've met some real SEALs. We really have. I know I have. And I know you have too.
Yeah, I've been on a base for them for like 3 years, man.
And most of them ain't going. If they want to do a job like that, it ain't gonna be about the fucking money. It's
No.
because they want to fucking serve, just like
No.
how we serve the military.
Like we were talking like Pete Hegseth earlier.
Yeah, I love
Like,
him.
He's
He's a
not
good
he's
man.
not going in for the money. And like we've told our stories. I understand there might be some things that are, some dirty laundry.
But nobody's fucking perfect. Nobody
No,
is.
and that's what Mike was saying too, is like you go into office, they're gonna try to dig up whatever they can dig up.
Yeah.
And then the parasites come out of the woodwork
Yep.
because now your name is, in the media like, oh, he did this to me, like E. John Carroll did to Trump.
Yeah.
Same
I
thing.
mean-
That's what they're doing to Pete Hegseth. That's
I mean,
why they're after him, because he's so good.
if I ever ran for office, right?
Yeah.
Something like federal or whatever, right? I would deny the shit I did in my past. I know it. I mean, yeah. I'm like, okay, how many motherfuckers in this room could say they don't have a fucking past, that they're fucking 100% perfect?
There is nobody that sits on the ethics committee
It's perfect.
that honestly could judge anybody on ethics.
Yeah. I mean,
Or decorum or any of that. Not one person.
And I love it.
They need to straight up dissolve that thing.
Well, and then he's talking about his drinking, right? His drink when he's on Fox and Friends and all that bullshit, right?
Yeah.
That was only one fucking person that said that shit. The rest of them were like, no, we all like him.
Yeah.
Because they did a thing on the five all about that.
Yeah. So who's gonna call Nancy Pelosi out on her ethics for wanting to set up a bar inside Congress? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Oh, we all should be able to drink in the house.
We
should have a bar set up.
They have whiskey and all that shit in their fucking
office. Yeah. I mean, I know anybody that drinks is gonna have their bourbon bar with their
wine, whatever they like to drink, right?
Yeah, it'll be in there. It'll be on a little plate, like you see the businessmen and everything.
And how many, before they vote on the bill, how many of those guys are fucking hammered?
Oh, who knows, man?
I mean, it could be, I ain't gonna say that all of them have been drinking, right?
No.
But there's some that come in there drinking.
It's like your yes button should have a breathalyzer on it, like you would to drive your car. You gotta blow into.
Yep.
Nope, you can't vote. Like, why you want to no vote? I was drunk.
Well, it's like, I love Hegseth's answer, right? He goes, yeah, I have drank in the past, but if I get this nomination, right, I'm gonna treat it like a deployment. I'm not gonna fucking drink.
Yeah.
They don't want
to. They don't like him because he's a hardliner for original, like military the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. He's not a yes person like a lot of those guys in the Pentagon. And we've met some of those motherfuckers that's been in the Pentagon.
Oh yeah, and I heard Captain Beaver was one.
And they will sit there and suck someone's cock to fucking get ahead politically. They will.
Yeah, at least he was honest. He's like, I don't give a fuck about any of y'all. I'm just trying to get this tour done so I get back into the Pentagon. Because he wanted to be in the Pentagon. That's what he wanted to do. That was the job he wanted to do. And he didn't want to be the captain of shit.
And those fucking people, those fucking admirals and all that bullshit, full bird captains, right? Generals, if they're not in it, if they're going to do that fucking job, then they need to fucking be there for the military, not for their own political fucking ambitions.
But they're not. They're there to make money.
Yeah. Because I know
they're there to get on government contracts, just like
get the
or write a book. You look like Nikki Haley and them. Like you get on Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, any of the big defense contractors.
Yep.
And then you get on their board.
Yep.
Have you heard anything out of Nikki Haley lately? Nah,
Nope.
she went under after she got done. She's like, cool, I'm going back onto the board of Raytheon
And I
in
knew she
in
was not gonna
my
get
$10
anything.
million house they bought for me.
And I knew she was not gonna get, the nomination or anything like that. People should
No.
know that shit. You know.
And then her trying to get on Trump's side, like, well, I'll help you get my voters. And he's like, go fuck yourself, because I don't need your voters.
Shit. He brought off RFK brought his fucking voters.
Well, and that's why they're soon to keep him on it.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to pull his voters away from Trump.
But that's the thing, like when Hillary lost, right, to Trump, right? They loved having the libertarian. They thought the libertarians, right, was going to take away votes from Trump, took away votes from fucking Hillary. That's what it did.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing
Yeah,
happened
like
this.
Jill Stein and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Green. I think she was Green Party, I think, at that time. I think
But they
she ran
should,
Green Party. I think she's ran Green Party the last 3 times.
but they should have known that this was going to fucking happen again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
But
because you lit a fire under everybody's ass again.
yeah, I just wish they'd go ahead and do the fucking vote for the nominations now. Be done with it.
Yeah.
Instead of fucking waiting. When are they supposed to vote for like fucking RFK, Headset, all those fucking all his?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the date again, because there was argument. Trump was like trying to invoke something. I'd have to look at it.
Because I'm
Invoke.
sure, because I know, because he don't take office till what, January 20th or something like that, right?
Yeah, the 6th is January 6th is the official.
January 6th. Okay, I couldn't.
Yeah, the
But I know
House
Congress,
and
the new session of Congress starts before he takes fucking.
yeah, it's January 6th. They come back in. They do the
Third,
vote.
January 3rd or some
The
bullshit.
vice president has to certify it.
Yep.
So that was what the key thing was they were laughing about, because Kamala has to certify his vote. So of course the Democrats, when it goes up, like Jamie Ratkins and all those, are gonna oppose it and da 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 da. So
And that ain't
What-
no different. And that ain't no different than what fucking. I mean, what they're going to do is exactly what they accused the Republicans of trying to do last time.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, they do it every time. They did it in 2016.
Well, hell, they did that.
Jamie Ratkins and them wouldn't certify it. And actually, if you watch it, Joe Biden was pretty much the one that said, go fuck yourself, and fucking certified it. So it's going to be funny,
Yep.
because if you watch that certification in 2016,
Yep.
it's going to be like this in 2024, except Kamal's got to be the one that certifies it.
Yep.
So it's gonna be funny to watch. Like, it really is.
Yeah, because they all say, well, the Democrat or Republicans, right? They're not going to give up power, blah blah blah. They're going to be a dictatorship, right? That's what the Democrats are trying to do since fucking Al Gore.
I'll be surprised, dude, if January 6th this time around is not a lot more dangerous.
But those fucking but those tapes, the real tapes, got
Yeah.
released,
Oh yeah.
and it proves the Democrats and that whole committee, they was in the wrong about the whole fucking thing.
That was what was in that 1,500-page report, was to keep them from being subpoenaed for that, because there's like
They wanted,
half the emails and the information is gone.
and that right there, that's illegal as hell.
Yeah.
Because
So there's
that's what Hillary should have been prosecuted on too. When she was Secretary of State, right? If I remember correctly.
yeah, Secretary of State.
You're not supposed to fucking destroy anything that's fucking
No.
federal government.
And old Bill tried to cover for her not too long ago, saying, "Oh, that was like personal back and forth, like
Well,
like
and now Bill
cooking
Clinton.
and
Well, look how many pardons fucking Biden goes after, right? Does, right? And Bill Clinton goes, what about Hillary? All these other people, right? Motherfucker, they have not been accused or found guilty of anything. Why would you need to pardon them?
oh yeah, that's the key one.
Okay, so we know they're guilty of something.
Yep.
That's why you need to pardon them if they're not guilty of anything.
Yep.
They just don't want Trump fucking looking into the shit. It's what they don't want.
Yeah, it's gonna get ugly because they're Trump's not playing anymore. He played because he didn't know Washington on the first round.
Yep.
Now he knows Washington since they drug him through the mud since 2016.
Yep.
So now it's game on. Like
now it's gonna be his own fucking cabinet, not people that people told him to put in there. So-called experts, right? He's like, fuck you. I'm going with the people I want.
right. Because they just caught a couple people that they didn't really vet. It was that Florida police officer that was going in for he was going in for a cabinet position. Anyway, they found out that he was the one that like locked up a preacher in the church and during
shit.
COVID lockdowns.
Oh, fuck.
And whoever on the team didn't vet him, Trump was like, no. He found out. It was like, nope, you're gone. Get out of here. See you later. And
That's why that fucking guy was saying, no, I respectfully decline.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's already been going back through these people that they're trying to vet. So it's not, we'll see. I mean,
And I love how the fact when they told the FBI go fuck kick rocks, right? On the vetting process. No, we'll do our own fucking vetting. Fuck you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because if you put Cash Patel in there, dude, Cash Patel's been going after the FBI forever.
Yep. But I still think Matt Gaetz would have been a good attorney general too. I think he would.
There's something in play with him that I know he said he's starting a new podcast. He's got his own show on Newsmax or one of them. He's going like a primetime spot. And it was one of the news outlets that was like banned. It was like blacklisted.
But technically, he could, since he won re-election, right, in the new Congress. Technically, he could join the new Congress if he wanted to, since he.
Yeah, he could actually be Speaker of the House.
But I mean, he resigned, but he can't say I will go back now.
Doesn't have to be part of Congress to be Speaker of the House, though.
Yeah, but he has to go back. He has to wait till a new session comes in if he wants to go back to Congress.
Yeah, I don't know what angle he's playing. He's obviously playing it really close to the heart.
Yep.
All he said he's going to be on a new show the other night, and it was like 9 o'clock prime time, and that was it. Like, so I don't know.
I mean, he
if
might
he's
not
going to start
Congress.
exposing or what he's doing.
He might not go back to Congress. He might say, "Fuck you, motherfuckers." If
that could be too.
If he's going to do his own podcast, you're right. He might be saying, "Fuck you." I'm gonna expose everything now.
Yeah. Like he'll start doing the journalism stuff. So, I mean, you don't know. I mean, he's been all over, man. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. So,
but I do think the new pick for Attorney General is going to be good too.
Yeah, the Pam Bondi.
Yeah, I think she's going to be good because she don't put up no bullshit either.
Yeah, she's a spitfire.
I mean, I could be wrong, but we're going to have to wait and see, right, on that shit.
Yeah, I mean, everybody goes in as a spitfire. That's what Matt was saying the other night. Like you go in like wanting to do the right things, and then you just get smashed. Like the establishment comes after you immediately.
I know a lot of FBI agents, right? The ones that's not high up, right?
Yeah.
They don't like the leadership of the FBI. They fucking hate them because they know they're fucking crooked up high.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got some good agents in the FBI, just like you got good police officers, right?
Yeah.
But it's the fucking ones that's running it that makes them look bad.
Yeah, there's always good people in every department, and they get shit on and they get pushed to the back room because they know either A, they're going to lose their job, or B, somebody's going to come after them.
Yeah. I mean,
with something.
Yeah. But I think one agency that needs to be dissolved is CIA altogether.
Oh, yeah. Well, you ain't getting rid of the CIA.
But actually, they could. They really could.
They could try, but there's so many branches of it.
Well, everyone knows that the CIA really is part of the shadow government too.
Yeah, they're the one that starts wars around the world.
But if we fucking had, if we just took their black budget that they have, that I guarantee it, that would do away with fucking debt that we have. Guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they have.
I don't even think you see the black budget. I bet you if you see the entire budget, I bet you we're like $60 trillion on the whole.
But they're fucking. I mean, they have no oversight, really. Duh. I mean, Congress says they do, but they will defy Congress. They say,
Yeah.
"Fuck you, we're not showing you nothing," and
Well,
that's right there.
I know they shift around money between these
Shell
budgets.
corporations.
Yeah, they shift everything around. Like you'll see it going here, you'll see it. Hell, probably a lot of Ukraine's has been shifted back to one of the budgets.
And fucking, I still believe that's one thing that got fucking JFK killed because he wanted to do away with the CIA.
Right.
You know, the CIA go fuck you because CIA they wanted him to fucking invade fucking Cuba.
Yeah.
He goes, no, why should we invade a country that has not attacked us? Period.
And then they did the Bay of Pigs and it was a complete failure.
Disaster, and that falls on us because CIA is part of the government.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and everyone wonders why there was a fucking nuclear missile crisis
Mm-hmm.
after that.
Because they turned the USSR into the boogeyman.
Yeah.
USSR had been the boogeyman for a long time now. But that goes all the way back to the Truman Doctrine, because the Truman Doctrine after World War II, I did research on this one. When you read it, says that we would be involved in eradicating all the communism around the world.
Yep.
And guess what we've been stuck in since Truman?
Yep.
Trying to eliminate communism around the world, which Russia isn't communist anymore. So.
No. That shit fell. But yeah,
And China, what are you doing with China? China should have been gone a long time ago then.
I mean, Russia, they're not, I mean, they're supposed to be a democracy now, right?
Semi.
Still, it's fucking Russia. It's fucking China. Just leave them the fuck alone. You know, on some things. If they want to run their country the way they run it, let them do it.
No.
You know, now if they start.
And that goes back to the isolationism that we were prior to World War II. It's like we don't care what anybody else is doing. As long as it doesn't affect us and our trade still goes down, we don't care. We keep trade with everybody. The Swiss did the same damn thing during World War II. They took gold from Germany, Nazi Germany.
Yeah, everybody.
They took everybody's gold, was neutral, like we don't care.
Yeah. And they're still money here. Neutral. Well, actually, did they become part of NATO?
I don't know if Swiss did or not. I think they did.
And stuff. I can't remember, but I know they was up for vote for that.
Yeah. But before that, they were like, whatever.
Yeah. I just like I've always said this.
Nazi gold is the same as American gold. It's gold.
They was all about the money, is what they was.
Yeah, Switzerland's is a rich ass country.
Yeah. But I've always said it's like about the Middle East, right?
Yeah.
Pull everybody back home. Close our bases. Let those fucking goat humpers fucking fight. They've been fighting for thousands of years over the same piece of property. Let them find out. Get back to isolationists. Look it. Like we talked about before. We can fucking bring everybody home, our ships, everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have blockades. Fucking East Coast, West Coast, right? Okay. You get through those motherfuckers, then we'll have a land war. If the guy truly think you can get through our fucking Navy.
And the Navy was truly really meant for trade protection. So that's all we need to do. We protect our ships going on the trade routes, and that's all we do.
Yep.
We don't have to do anything else. If somebody asks for us to protect their trade route, then you pay us for it. Yep. We might as well be privateers like we originally were.
Well, exactly. I mean, look at like with Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah.
Wanted us to fucking get involved with fucking Hussein, right? Back when he invaded Kuwait, right? We said, okay, we should be getting our oil for free from them motherfuckers. Because fucking first Bush could have said, fuck you, no. We're not. Unless you're going to fucking give us free fucking oil for life.
Right.
That's what should have fucking happened right there. You know, because we had no skin in the ball game at that point. Duh.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, and that's the key thing right there. That's why Trump said we're gonna start drill baby drill on the first day. Because we have it. We have all the natural resources.
we have everything. You
We
know,
don't that's why we were isolationists in the beginning. We didn't need anything from anybody.
yep. It was Woodrow Wilson didn't want to get involved in fucking First World War at all
Right.
until we had to. You know,
And then the Second World War, and then they put
and we
together
still,
NATO, and then they put together the
and we tried to stay out
Truman
of
Doctrine and everything else.
and we tried to stay out of fucking World War II until they bombed fucking Pearl Harbor. You know,
Which was them doing it on purpose to get us in there.
yeah. And that's when that Japanese admiral said, "We done woke a sleeping giant." That's what we did.
Yeah.
You know, but after
Leave
World War
everybody
II,
alone.
we should just said we should went back to being isolations after World War II. That's what we should.
That's why I'm saying the Truman Doctrine allowed
Yeah.
that not to happen with NATO. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, we're going to form NATO and, we're going to help each other if this ever happens again. Well, has anybody helped us? No, because we don't need anybody's help.
It was like
Have we
Korea.
helped you?
We should never
Oh.
been involved in Korea in the first place.
No,
You know,
the Korean conflict itself, no.
yeah. Well, I mean, technically it was a war, but technically it was just conflict, really.
Yeah. Well, they kept it as a conflict, so it couldn't be determined as a war because
Congress has
Congress-
to play war,
Yep. The same thing with the Vietnam War. They had to declare that. And
and
we
that's
know what that turned into.
the fuck. Just like the Afghanistan shit, I was like, you know what? This is gonna be just like Vietnam over again. Is what it's gonna be.
And it's the same thing that went down. Like I said, that Truman Doctrine about fighting communism was what was used to go after all those communist countries at the time.
You know, because we
It
don't
was
need
the
to be spreading
33rd
democracy.
parallel.
We don't need to be spreading democracy anywhere. If those people in those countries want democracy, they need to fight for it like we did, like our
Yeah, they should
ancestors did.
Pick
Plain
it up.
simple. You know, why should we come in there, you know, with our fucking troops, our fucking military, and fucking fight your own fucking battles? Why should
Bills won
fucking Bills?
24-21.
That's all right. We'll beat the fucking Steelers to get the number one seed to get the bye.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say the Steelers are beyond.
And that's why Mahomes was still playing against the Texans. So we had not locked up we locked up the number one seed in the West, right?
Yeah.
But not the whole AFC. You know. Now, if Bills would have lost last week, if Lions would have beat them, we would have the number one seed all throughout the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, for AFC anyways, but fucking Bills, goddamn it.
Looked like they were about to lose though.
Yep. But the Bills, see, the thing is, when it comes to playoff time, they're not the same team that they are in the regular season. They're worse in the playoffs.
But it seems like they've been doing it forever.
Yeah.
Lost 3 Super Bowls in a row.
That was with Jim Kelly,
Yeah.
you know. But just like that fucking what was it, a couple years ago, fucking Chiefs, the Bills should have had us beat until we came back with less than a minute left, right? Or 15 seconds, whatever the fuck it was, right? And forced that bitch in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we should have lost that game. But the Bills, they got fucking lazy on their defense.
Right.
And allowed Mahomes and Tyreek Hill to fucking do their thing when we still had Hill on it. But
It is what it is.
But I think the team's going to be surprised with the Chiefs in the playoffs. Because Andy Reid always has some kind of fucking new plays designed for the playoffs. Always has.
Right.
And you look at, if you watch the games recently, right? Mahomes and Worthy are starting to connect on a lot of shit now. So if we could utilize his speed like we did Hill's speed, right? Once we get that in play, the rest of the NFL is fucked. Because we have the defense to stop these fucking teams.
Right.
Because look at the Bills. Yeah, the Bills beat us, right, for our only loss. But they only beat us by what, 9 points? That's it. You know.
I mean, 9 points is 9 points. So that's.
But when they beat the Lions, they blew out the fucking Lions.
I know Lions blew out the Bears earlier.
Shit, the Bears ain't shit this year.
Dolphins beat the Niners. That's always good.
Because the Bears, they got that fucking nail polish wearing fucking faggot as their
I
QB.
don't know who the fuck they got in there.
Caleb Williams, the one that came from USC, right? Supposed to be the fucking savior of the Bills, right?
Yeah.
That motherfucker's a joke. You know, he probably been better off if they would set him like Mahomes got set right behind Alex Smith for a couple years. He probably would have been better. You know, but when they throw him in through the NFL, you know, right as a rookie, as starting quarterback, a lot of them don't pan out like that.
Mhm.
But I think we need to call this one though. Fucking
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I gotta go
Riders.
piss and
But now we need
Okay.
to now we just need to decide we're gonna do weekly or every 2 weeks.
I think on the next one we shoot for, I mean, obviously after Christmas and the first of the year, shoot for see if anything comes up and then shoot to work on the live at least.
Yeah.
On the next one.
I say we could try for next Sunday too,
What's next Sunday? Let me look at the calendar.
29th.
Yeah, we could shoot for the 29th.
Because then we could have it be a post Christmas edition and also pre New Year's edition.
Pre New Year's.
Or if you ain't got no plan on New Year's Eve, we could do New Year's.
We probably could. It'd be a long night though. Have to get the coffee out and like minimize like fucking.
Speaking of fucking coffee, I still have not got my fucking order yet shipped for fucking black coffee, whatever the fucking is,
Blackout.
Yeah, blackout.
Blackout was behind, brother. Like it took me almost 3 weeks to get mine. Like it was a while, and I ordered mine before Christmas. Like on the 1st of December, I think I ordered mine, and I didn't get it till.
Yeah, I mean it says it's order's been placed, but no update yet.
Yeah, it does, dude. It takes a while because everybody's in a rotation and order. So depending on where your order's at, they roast everything and then they ship it out. So you're like in that queue. So
yeah. But I figured like since I got the instant right, they'd have the instant ready to go. Yeah.
You would think, but you never know. So
I just figured I'll try their instant. If it doesn't fuck with my nerves or caffeine does it right, since it's a dark roast, there should be a lot less caffeine in it, really.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's gonna have caffeine, but it won't be.
It won't be like
It's
not. It shouldn't be like drinking a Mountain Dew, shit like that.
Shouldn't be.
Yeah. It's stuff. But I know a lot of that's my anxiety too, kicking in with the caffeine too. You know, because when I was on fucking Klonopin, I was drinking Mountain Dew left and right all the time while I was on that. You know, but yeah, we need to call this one though. So we'll get better, people.
Well, I mean, like I said, we'll get better. I mean,
but it's still going to be
it's
still going to be non-scripted, and it's going to be all over the goddamn place. You know,
that's what it should be anyway.
Yep.
All right, I'm getting out then.
All right, brother.
Later.
I'm gonna stop this fucking recording here.
Yeah, hit that.